Dire are scanning.
On his Nature's Prophet.
TA specifically is not a hero you want to have this net worth split on. Actually, he...
With the opening on towards Tim. Well, there's Tim's here with a backup. Quick disruption will put a stop to the play from Yandex. Now Saxa might just be in trouble again. Yopash is going to come in with the TP. He's found him. Saxa to fall once more. Well, just one of those games in this sort of position, right, where it's not fun to be on the sky, right? It's just free food. It's the tough one.
I'm blown away by OG. I think they're playing amazing right now. They are all over the map. They are giving Yandex no room to farm. We've seen Yandex dismantle teams. They 2-0 to Falcons, you know, less than a week ago, and now they were in the
grand finals.
They were, and they're getting thrashed right now.
Absolutely.
Straight up outplayed. OG making their draft look awesome. The panel, wrongfully, were doubting them, but, you know, they're showing Insania who's boss right now.
Absolutely smooth stuff here from OG, and I think, as you touched upon earlier, definitely making a case that for the rest of this series, that Nature's Prophet priority in the draft is probably going to be shooting up in the eyes of Yandex, and getting it through as the last pick. OG might not get that chance again this series because it looks so good here in the hands of Yopash around the way that OG play the map. Talking about the man, here he is turning up. Going to get involved with another. And another they will find. Malady to fall. 24-9 here, 20 minutes in.
This Nature's Prophet net worth, it's not that many creeps. Yopaj 11-1 at 11. He's not even buying the Mjolnir. He's not going for this farming sort of scaling carry build. Vessel into Blade Mail into Dragonlance. He's all fighting all the time. This is hero kills.
And then looking at Watson. We'll be able to get the blink off. And there won't be any interrupt at this distance from anyone. So quick escape from Watson. Trying to do his best in the game against the Chaos to continue to keep his farm in good position. To the top, a bit of a jump onto Nico.
At Purge Creep.
It's very awkward for them to really start something onto him. Now, I mean, notice he's coming through the gate, but I don't know if he wants to be here. There's a lot of them. He is pretty tanky, but not tanky enough to survive this. He's going to try and make his way back out. They've got some way to stop him. They do. Disruption back up from Tims. I mean, at the side, Yandex are still trying to get a look in onto this team fight, but Noticed is gone. They'll get the snowball in onto Tims. Falls down to the side. Tims will fall. Chira Jr. jumps in to help finish off the job, but they just get the support. Now, Chira Jr., he'll have Astral step back up in a second. So should have a chance to escape down to the river. And nothing to grab him, so at least we'll get out of there. It's a trade, but a trade that hasn't ended yet. I mean, stacks up. Malady's in with a punch. Watson is in, he's in as well. This is a big kill to find if they can bring Yopash down. A lot of money to be got here, and Watson will get it. So finally, able to put a bit of an end to Yopash, just moving around the map. That TP, TP a little too aggressive in that situation. The chase does get finally punished. Unfortunately for Yandex, that money going into Watson's hands and now keeping him there in that top position as the TA in the net worth.
Yeah, they bit off a little bit more than they could chew the whole time. Natsumi is farming the other side of the map. There's no way he can get there. The run there would be far too efficient. He's playing for the Tormentor, playing for his Manta timing, so OG maybe a little bit disconnected. The whole reason I think why they've been dominating this game so much is that they're bringing numbers. They've been bringing 4 or 5 heroes in these fights, and this one, you know, not having their carry, who's been in so many of these fights, I think been instrumental to a lot of these kills. So, you know, giving some a little bit back the other way, but they do get the Tormentor, and just look at this Underlord and Void Spirit's net worth. They're like, the Veno is almost higher than both of them.
A tough game. You know, we've seen a few fights, you know, where Noticed has tried to turn up, but Underlord definitely one of those heroes that when you get behind, you still want to be this beefy sort of front line, but you're absolutely a front line hero that the enemy can deal with. As to OG in this position, do not struggle to take him down. He tries to start the fight.
Yeah, I think this is one of these games where, you know, you played some scrim on Underlord, it felt really good, and then suddenly you're like, maybe we can up the priority. Maybe it's a hero we can blind pick. And you blind pick it one game and the enemy counter picks it. And the next game you do not pick Underlord because you are not stupid.
Malady find the lead in here with Watson. They get a quick kill. Can they get out? Malady, he will not be able to. Shackle shots there. But at least though Watson able to get out before anyone gets their hands on him. Doing his best here. I mean, what is the sort of solo carry potential of Watson on this TA? If indeed, you know, both Chira Jr. And Notice Games continue to get held behind on the other two cores, can this TA take it to the later stages alone?
It's definitely possible. It's a very good TA game. The only real threat there is for him is getting axe called. If he's not getting axe called, then he's not really dying. So as he gets, you know, more fat, he does have some blobs and some heroes to go in, right? Void Spirit's going to go in and out. Underlord's going to port into the middle of the fight and drag attention and feed for him. So he does have bodies to go in that allow him to hit. Watson's very, very good at using these side blades, using that pure damage to, you know, maybe cut through how tanky OG is. So there is some potential there. He's also top net worth, which helps, right? TA, you need to be the most farmed hero in the game. The hero farms so incredibly fast, and the hero's whole toolkit is built around being the most farmed hero. And so that is a good sign for Yandex. They've also, after that overextension from Yopaj earlier, they've sort of stemmed the bleeding. The gold lead not going up anymore, and they're holding the line.
See how they can fare here in this team fight. OG's looking for it, and they do get a decent opening of the start straight away, getting the catch on a Chira Jr. The Void Spirit out. See if they can find anything on top of it. I've got eyes on Malady. He's able to make some sort of snowball blink play out of this. It's not looking likely. Straight in under the tower. OG sells a second kill.
This battle hunger spell, man, it's so oppressive. He presses on the tusk and he just can't move ever again. What a miserably annoying spell. When you get the 15 talent, it's a 40% slow that stacks. Holy cow, this spell is disgusting.
See, Yandex, let's see if they maybe catch OG at a point where OG may feel a bit relaxed and split up. If they can make this move with the three of them. Yopaj would be quite the catch, and he might not expect this sort of smoke play. They've got eyes on him, but the blade mount doesn't matter. Watson's able to just beat through it, take him down. See if they can get out. Tim's got his hands in onto Watson with the disruption setup, but the blink's available. Watson continues to run up to Demonic Purge, and that'll buy time, and he's got to close the gap, get him with the call, but the snowball's there. Provide safety for Watson. Should still be enough to allow Watson to get another refraction off, but having Natsumi in on top of him, Watson able to slide away, keep the distance, turn with a Hurricane Pike hits, but quick dispel here from Natsumi. Allows him to retreat in turn. Hiko ticking down very low to the Spirit Vessel. Chira Jr. had to get aggressive for this. Again, safety being provided by Malady. Coming with some clutch saves back to back here with the snowballs to ensure that his cores don't go down. Yandex, they get away with that very nice smoke with the three of them. They get the kill, they get out, they don't lose anyone.
Yeah, very creative smoke from Yandex. Not three heroes you would expect. You wouldn't expect a TA in it and other heroes showing on the map. So taking advantage of Yopaj being asleep at the wheel a little bit, because he just doesn't expect the TA as three to be in the smoke like that. Honestly, really nice use of numbers from Yandex, and they continue to sort of close that gap, make this game feel like it's not out of reach for Yandex whatsoever.
OG ready to look for the smoke up themselves now. And they in turn catch Yandex by surprise. Watson.
Good boy.
He's not ready for this, but there is backup. Malady's in with the snowball. Easily able to protect him from that initial attempt with the cool setup. Malady, he will die for this one, but again, excellent saves here on the tusk. Still though, the chase continues. And the chase, they will continue very successfully. So even after that initial attempt of a save from Malady, it cost him his life, and does still not succeed in saving Watson as OG take him down.
These little skirmishes and pickoffs are exactly what OG wants. I think in a straight-up 5v5 team fight, Yandex has much better chances, but they need the pipe, they need the Crimson, right? They invested in these auras. They have to actually use them. And if you're going to get caught around the map like this and you don't actually get to press your buttons, the Underlord's entire network is non-existent, and it's not the way you want to be doing things. Roche saying none of that to Yopaj, but I mean, it's a very good turn of events, but you can see still all three tier 2s remaining at 28 minutes. Despite OG getting a million billion kills, they haven't actually been able to progress the map that much. So the farm continues from Yandex. Those feeds obviously hampering things a little bit, but It's still not out of reach. TA still top net worth even after the death. Hello there.
Stacks up. Trying to get away with some cheeky farm. He won't get away with it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
G. Now ready to get back on with the pressure as they have this Aegis. So again on Natsumi. Last time around, Yandex were able to take it out of their hands pretty quickly. Really slowed down how much OG could get whilst they had that.
Venomancer is so insanely farmed. He has Vlad's now on top of it. He is the ultimate I help my teammates hero.
Look at the setup. Zero Junior's been found.
Too many kills, too much bleeding around the map. I think the Yandex have to calm things down a little bit. I think you're in a position where you have to accept that we may farm a little bit less, right? We're going to lose some gold lead here. They have Aegis, they're stronger than us, and you have to wait for those opportunities.
And end up walking into Natsumi, but there is backup for Watson. Malady straight in with the punch onto Watson. Natsumi might just go down the rocks, but he's got the backup from Yopash. TP's in. See if they can get the kills out of this one. Watson trying to rub us again. He's in with the slow. Watson will fall. OG, they're getting the cleanup on this one big time. Sprouting onto Malady. I mean, they were very ready for that. It almost looked like maybe Yandex were considering that they could sort of bait Natsumi in a position to take the Aegis out, but that went horribly wrong for Yandex if that was indeed a situation where they were trying to put some sort of play together. OG just killed off 4 of them.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I don't think that was calculated. I think Watson kind of just ran into them and like, oh, shoot, there's a fight, and they all TP and try to help him, and that's not the situation you want to be in. When you're behind like this, you want things to be calm and you want to understand where the enemy heroes are. You want to pull them into a position where you can take a fight that's advantageous for you. But the chain feeding continues. Void Spirit's not even there for that fight. He's their main kill threat, their main sort of disruption in the fight. So without him, it's just the TA hitting.
Oh, Nico! He's going to be able to get another grab on towards him. Chujina will get the chance to simulate out before the shackle connects. But the he ends up popping in the damage for 10. That's rough. He's out for 50. No buyback on the Void Spirit. OG with plentiful time to take this top set of barracks away. Again, go looking for another grab. Does get the call on towards Sags. Sags in. Got the shields to protect him for now. Malady has gone in aggressive. He'll die for that one. He's not getting back out. Both supports full. Absolutely crumbling now for Yandex as OG take the top set of racks. 21k ahead in an incredibly comfortable spot right now.
Yeah. I don't think Yandex have been 5 heroes alive in the last 5 minutes. They're just absolutely chain feeding across the map. They gave this Aegis away. They gave these 2 pickoffs, and they've just been bleeding non-stop ever since. Somebody call the blood bank because Yandex wants to donate.
Again, Nico. It's the call. It's a big one as well. He gets the catch on Watson. Malady has to come in with a snowball to try and give him a chance because it's going to take him very deep. He'll back off with the Hurricane Pike push back. Big damage burst coming in and hit from this stuff. Junior, he's in with the combo. Takes out Nico and Natsumi's falling low, but he's got no team left around him. As Yandex pull together the defense. Everything hits, as I think, Yandex, this is how it looked in the plan when it came to the draft, right? They're like, we throw the spells at them, we win the team fight. It finally worked out. They're able to hold off OG and keep the game going, Yandex, with that defense.
Yeah, I think showing the potential of their draft whenever they're in formation, when things are structured, when things are nice. The Underlord has made it to his Ags. This double pit nonsense where you ult and leave another pit is insanely strong. And Windranger has gone for that no BKB build, just playing off the Manta, playing off the Pike, playing off that kiting. But as more and more things start to get layered in, there's more slows and more roots and all this stuff. Can only dispel stuff for so long, so... Coming back the other way, OG, this game has been impressive, but it hasn't been perfectly clean, and it's not over.
He's in. He went super aggressive to kill Saxa, and he's dead for it. That was, I mean, we've had some amazing plays from it, but what was that?
They're throwing.
I'm not sure. And now...
Maybe it was a long-term plan. We'll see if the rest of it works out. He's bought time for the rest of OG to now come in and try and get these cleanup kills. But Cheer Jr., he's out with the Astral Step TP. To the TP out as well from Malady. He'll get away. They will at least get the grab onto Notice. So they will get something extra rather than just the Sax's support kill out of that. Yeah, Yopash, he wanted more of that blood, Quinn.
Yeah, he's... They're all about the fighting this game. I respect it, but it's not over yet. We see the Manta now on Void Spirit, so he has more tools to go in and out to, you know, skirmish, to purge off some of this random garbage that OG is throwing around. And TA does still have the damage. He has BKB now on top of the Daedalus, so it's not out of the question that Yandex can win another fight. I think the biggest question for me is, can OG keep the snowball going while this Underlord is dead, right? We see them using the gate now, maybe a smoke's coming out, and they look to keep the pressure going, because I think once Yandex is 5 alive, they have a lot better chances. But they're actually looking to go right now without their Underlord.
All right, I mean, he does have buyback available, but yeah, ult in 10 seconds ago to make buyback play. Bottom, they get the jump burst on towards him, but time being prepared there with the Lotus Snowball, actually allowing Natsumi to get back up to the high ground. Turn with the shackle on Achira Jr. Kill the Void Spirit off. The disruption now, turning up on a Watson. Yopad TP's an aggressive. Nico's got the control with the call, but Malady with the Snowball. Buying Watson a bit of safety. Not enough though. Watson dropping low. He's gone. OG back to cleaning up the team fights. Zaxa, he'll also fall. An effective team wipe there, as the Underlord, of course, still stays dead from earlier. OG ready to get that push back on. Now bringing in the mid lane here from Yopaj. Also got the bottom wave pushing in as well, as they want to try and look towards the tier 2. A few hiccups along the way here, but never losing that lead. And every time they strike back harder than before. 20k lead now, and up to the base once again.
Yeah, and I respect massively that ideology of, yo, we lost the last fight, but it's okay. We're still strong. We're going to go again. They're not getting scared. They're not getting worried. Yo, we're playing as a finals team. You know, we haven't been to that many top-tier tournaments as a roster, but they're saying, no, we're not scared. We're going to show up. We're going to take your lunch money. We're going to take your base, and that's what they're doing. They're never stepping off the gas, and I think it's such a cool identity to have as a team. I'm really, really impressed by the way this team has grown and how they're forming their ideas about the game, right? They're saying, we're going to stick it to you. We're going to make you react to us. We're not going to play these long games. We're going to run you over. And I think it's a play style that has a lot of strengths if the enemy team is not super ready for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, definitely in the sense that, as you say, there's... But yeah, so if something goes a little bit wrong, it's not a, oh my goodness, we shouldn't do that again. Let's wait 2 minutes, 5 minutes, get the Roshan. We can't run at them anymore. No, okay, they don't give up. If they have one little slip up, they're back on with the action, and they're back getting it in their favor. 24k lead, 2 sets of Brax taken. The difficulty continue to rise here for Yandex.
Yeah, and the real hard part is if the OG runs deep into you, right? If they take a fight in Yandex's base, I think they still have chances. The tricky part is Roche is going to start spawning soon, and that's outside the base. That's a fight where OG has buybacks, where you have to fight in the middle of nowhere, and there's Nature's Prophet TPing in, there's Venom Snakes, there's an Axe that can jump you at any point, and there's also an Invis Wind Ranger running around with his Aghanims who can just 100-0 any hero. That's a whole lot of stuff to keep track of. And if you're Yandex, your whole draft is predicated around play around the Underlord pits, play around these auras, and if you're in the middle of nowhere and it's dark, OG's killed your wards with a gem, it's really difficult to do that.
Smoke up from OG. Roshan coming up pretty shortly. OG wouldn't mind finding a kill before they go for the pit. See if they can get their hands on. Shira Jr. down here right now. So they want to try and check over towards the high ground triangle area. So who's going to show first? They've got eyes on Shira Jr. Jump down to the bottom of the map. To be far enough away to get out with this TP before OG make it over. So be fine, able to dodge the smoke.
Scam honestly showing a bit of that. You know, he used to be a core player, and I think you can tell in the way that he plays. Just, I think this Veno really suits him, these heroes that do get a little more of that farm, because he understands how to get it. He knows when and when not to go to these fights. He's buying great items, he's making great decisions on the map, and keeping the map set up in a way where OG actually can keep getting these fights. You don't really notice it, but the waves he's killing, the pressure he's subtly putting by being annoying, by taking over these areas with the snakes. It shows in the net worth. Been a part of 30 kills, but also is almost more farm than Void Spirit.
Patch. Ready to interrupt that. Little bit of an attempt from Yandex to try and go for the Roshan. Does not work out as OG able to turn up and push them away. To hit the side to jump in. And for Nico, looking at what Shira Jr. Watson, they're going to try and turn on Watson, but Nico's got backup coming in. Notice he'll get the pit down on both of them, but Nico's able to still step out away from the Mystic Flare. Pretty much staying at full HP in the majority of OG. Only Nico's starting to fall low a little bit, but he's still ready to keep running at them. Jump in with jump out, doesn't want to commit for the kill. Chira Jr. has to back off. Watson also having a BKB just to escape OG.
He is already
Yeah, that's
BKB.
the problem. The fact that Watson
That's the
got to sit there and
problem,
hit this axe for I don't know how long, 15 minutes, and he doesn't even die. He gets really low there at the end, but whenever he presses call, he's got 62 armor. Even without pressing call at 47 armor. Super crazy and a real problem for them because TA is most of their damage, and there's just too much armor. The Greaves, the Vlads, the Lotus Orb. It's so many tools to deal with what Yandex has, and that's what happens when you just throw money at the opponent, right? No matter how well Yandex fights, they are 26k down, and you can feel it.
See here, Yopaj got eyes on Watson, and Watson will get up with the blink. Good dodge of the call, but it probably isn't going to matter. No further way to Watson to get out of that one. OG,
Oh boy.
definitely having fun as they wrap this one up. Up to 30k lead. Very much making sure that this game one gets as painful as possible for Yandex. Set up. Protection with the Crimson coming out. Malady running out of ways to get out of this one. Snowball's going to be there, but the power shot ready and waiting as he comes out. OG on to that third and final set here on the bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you stall. You have the TA buy effect, but you need to start the fight first. They're smoked up. They're going to try and fight with the TA buy, but his Wind Ranger has 8.
Nico's in. Going to get the call. Thompson notes it. Factory down everything on towards him, dragging him in as well. That will now cause the buyback to come out from Watson. He's in a position to do damage. He's going to look over towards Nico, but Nico's able to slide out of the base. He's fine. Nico can back up and reset. Notice the one taking the bigger hits right now. He's going to just try and TP out of this one, but Nico's back in with a call. Puts a stop to that. As there's the Underlord dead. He'll buy back. Comes in with the ult. Malady will opt to kick Nico out of this one. But now Watson, they have to BKB and back off again. Nearly dying there to the right click to Natsumi. Natsumi tries to slide in to finish off the job. They've killed Malady off a second time. They've cleaned up the second support here. Sax is gone. Notice the force. The die back on him. Only Chira Jr. and Watson left alive.
Radiant's courier.
As these two will not be able to hold back the five man still surviving on OG as the final racks are taken. OG onto the tier 4s and the game has been called. GG, well played. As OG looking pretty fantastic here in this game one against recent Grand Slam finalists.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a masterclass in aggressive play from them. I think they all played amazing, but special shout out to Yopaj. 19, 4, and 28. He was everywhere. He was turning the early game. He was super farmed in the mid game. Ended the game top net worth while also having the highest kill participation. He was on fire. A player that a lot of people doubted during his times in NA. Is he actually up to snuff after...
Wait natin game 2, guys. Nagkatapin sila, Seb.
And I think the only one comparable is like Putt or Lina.
Lina, yeah, Lina is definitely the biggest one. Zeus, Lina, those are the top tier.
Yeah, true.
Are you
Zeus
sad
versus Terrorblade, classy.
Are you sad we don't see mid Zeus anymore?
You know what I'm sad about? I feel like I'm sad I don't see mid Lina anymore. I feel like
Why?
that's such a high
Lina?
skill cap hero that's like it takes like a really, really strong mechanical mid laner to pull off. It's
Are you
nice,
ta-
you know? It's
are
nice
you
when these pro
talking-
players get to display their skill.
Wait for the game 2, guys.
Gamer Legion. And game number 2, about to begin. I mean, game number 1, it was close for a while. Like, it felt pretty even. We were looking at it, we're like, okay, we're like 14 minutes in. There's absolutely no gold advantage one way or the other. And then suddenly, like, one fight, you know, your Copa's get a slight lead, and then they just basically pull away. Stampeding, if you will, even without the Centaur, away from Gamer Legion. Just think the Yakult brothers understood their draft, right? Like, yeah, they had the Nature's Prophet ganking everywhere. They made some great movements. I really struggle to see how Gamer Legion makes plays without the Axe Blink. And when I look at that, like, timing as items are coming in, Act, you know, has the Perseverance, but, you know, that doesn't do anything until you finish the full Lotus. Compared to on the other side, right? We're making progress towards a BKB, like the Dragonlance was finishing on the Terrorblade, BKB shortly finished on the Natures, there was a Holy Locket on the Warlock, so everything was kind of lining up for them, and then you're stuck waiting for the Lotus, and then maybe eventually a Blink after that, right? So, like, you just stuck waiting for such a long time. And I feel the supports on Gamer Legion had a good start. Like, they were level 6, I thought they were doing fine, but they just didn't really have anyone to play with because Dragon Knight didn't get a Blink right away. And I don't think he should as the carry. And then Queen of Pain can't really set them up either. The one time they tried, the Snowball comes in, right? And that's why you have to have a stun to stop that. So you just kind of lost several early fights, pretty much just not having the right tools, which I thought the Axe pick was picked to fix that, but off of the poor start it had and then the different itemization just never quite connected. I know the Mjolnir build is more of a idea for the Frost Dragon on DK, because like when you have the Corrosive Dragon with the minus armor, you really want to build more into your physical damage to help. Versus like a Nature's Prophet who has like an 11-minute vessel, feels very difficult because at that point, like Nature's Prophet can just basically solo kill you, and there's nothing that you can do to stop him.
unique right now. It's taking people by surprise right now. You're like, I don't feel like this should be working. Then the more you see it, then the more you understand, and maybe the cracks start to show.
I think maybe there's some of that. I also think when you play this style of Dota where no two games will look the same. You know, like if I showed you a Falcons game and I removed the names of the players, I'm pretty sure you would know it's Falcons playing. Like you've seen that script so many times and it always looks the same. Whereas with like this type of game that OG just pulled out, it will never look the same. No two games will look the same. Like it might just have been a pub game you watched. It might be, you know, a really high level Dota game. And I think it's hard to be consistent when you play this way. It's like one of the difficulties. So when things are flowing really nicely, team is working well, there's high levels of trust, people like, you know, you say something, it happens immediately, like, you don't need to have structure and setup.
How
I think this kind of
come
play style
drop
works.
starting on ready?
I wouldn't say so much maybe that they're at danger of being figured out, but rather like when teams come a little bit more prepared and don't give them all these kills, what is it going to look like?
Sure. Yeah. This type of a draft definitely can fall apart easily. I think if you manage to like punch back between 7 and 15 minutes, if you can have this type of a game even without feeding away too many kills, this type of a draft like OG had in game number 1 is not going to be doing what it's supposed to do. And again, they're going to be going with the Wind Ranger. If it's not broken, don't fix it. But they're still using this as a flex because they can flex it to different roles. Natsumi, even Yopash can play it in a good game for it. This Marcy, we seen some position for Marcy, but I also think that like this hero is too valuable to pass on to not be played from position.
It can be really good there for sure. I'm a little bit worried about it playing against a Mars though, because pre-BKB, you can get your leaps interrupted in a variety of fashions, which can be really obnoxious. If you don't get on top of your target as Marcy, sometimes it takes you a little bit too much time to catch up.
One of the first players to play this as carry. I think actually Riyadh or EWC last year, they were playing it in Demon, and I know I was thinking like, what is it doing? Like, what is this joke of a hero? And then like 1 month later, we're all on it. We think it's like the best hero in the entire world. And I do know I told Mickey at some point that I thought Mars was very good against Marcy, but I think he just told me like, I don't care. The hero's just that good. So not sure where Marcy's power levels are as a carry now, but definitely know like
It's probably
How come it's not starting yet? Let's start Dota, guys.
the recall method. We just like spam recalls, you bring people all over the place, but I think that got nerfed. And to me, the hero felt really, really bad going into TI, but I don't know, like GH, for example, played it a lot and kind of made it work with the Solar Flare. So, or, yeah, it's Solar Flare? Solar Bind? Solar Bind. Solar Bind, yeah. Yeah. Solar Flare. Was Mirana's path. Oh, yeah, it was Mirana's old. Right, right. Solar Bind, yeah. A decent vessel hero.
shaking your head.
It's no good.
You're dismantling. I think that's where the captain is. We got a rudderless Millennium Falcon. Well, this is not the segue I was hoping for.
Chewbacca.
Looks like a taser. Who is the captain on OG? Is it Skep?
I think so.
Solo, I'm pretty sure.
Han Solo, yeah, Han Solo.
That's fair.
Han Solo, lock it in.
Gotcha.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Greedo.
No, I think it's him. It should be Scam.
It should be Scam because
Yeah.
he has captained like 1,000 different rosters in his time.
Probably Scam.
Probably Scam.
Yeah.
Interesting Doom pick. You can dispel the win run, I suppose. When you use it at the start of the fight, that's like a guaranteed kill.
And no heals as well. If we were talking about some of the heals that they do have, like maybe later down the line, first of all, you have Coddle, you have Mars with potentially Bloodsport with the other facet, the Victory Feast. So the heals are not going to be there. Snapfire with the Shard as well. Some like decent amount of heals, but it's going to stop. And Wind Ranger as a core doesn't like to be playing into these heroes like Doom, Disruptor, even a maneuverable hero like Marcy with the Helm of the Dominator who can get the jump on her, just doesn't feel as good. I think OG is going for pretty much the same thing as they did in game number 1. You're not going to be seeing any other team picking these heroes paired up together. And in this one, I don't like it as much. We could also maybe see this Coddle move to mid. I think I've
It
seen
feels
one.
like Yopaj type hero,
Yes,
right?
like we've seen it once or twice, I believe, in the last couple of months. I wasn't really impressed. I know one of the Chinese teams did play it. I think it was 7E who played it, and I was like, yeah, this hero is kind of bad. Like, especially if you have enough jump, the
Timber.
hero needs like some kind of a
Ready
protection, so
to
like
timber
BKB,
mid
4 staff. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
or aggressive
The
MP.
Chewbacca.
I was gonna say though, I really like playing Disruptor with Doom. I think this is something when I played with Meta, we did quite a bit. When you get the Disruptor shard, you have like literally like 7 screens worth of cast range on your Q,
Gotcha.
and you know Meta will just Doom someone anywhere, and then I would just press Q, and they basically die. Like it's so much damage from such long range,
Tagal lang
and it kind of
start,
guarantees
bro.
that Doom can just press the spell very freely. Because you'll notice, like, the main issue with Doom is you're always scared that you don't deal enough damage during Doom hurt. That they get away. But with Raptor, you will never have that problem.
Yeah.
Because if they're getting away, you can bring them back. And with the Shard on Raptor, you can also provide the damage needed
Yeah, that's
to
it.
get the kill. Yeah. I also really like this lean together. Because Doom steals damage over a long period of time. And
Oh.
Wims loves that. You love to run people down. And Scorched Earth basically just becomes better. So if you pair these two heroes together, they're quite nice together.
Kind of similar with Marcy in some ways. Like she also gap closes, buys you a bunch of time.
Radiant
You can
team
outplay her,
back.
Oh, yeah,
and then you
yeah,
bring
yeah.
her back too. Pretty synergistic.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. Dire team back.
Game number 2 is underway. OG versus Yandex, where we are still finding out if OG are in that honeymoon period. Because so much of this unique identity that they seem to have been relying on over these past few tournaments also has
10
a
seconds
limit
remaining.
before people start to figure out what that identity is. Because it's unique right now. It's
5
taking people by
seconds
surprise right
remaining.
now. You're like, I don't feel like this should be working. Then the more you see it, then the more you understand, and maybe the cracks start to show.
I think maybe there's some of that. I also think when you
Dire
play
team
this
back.
style of Dota where no 2 games will look the same. You know, like if I showed you a Falcons game and I removed the names of the players, I'm pretty sure you would know it's Falcons playing. Like you've seen that script so many times and it always looks the same. Whereas with like this type of game that OG just pulled out, it will never look the same. No
10
2 games will look the
seconds
same.
remaining.
Like might just have been a pub game you watched. It might be, you know, a really
5
high level Dota
seconds
game.
remaining.
And I think it's hard to be consistent when you play this way. It's like one of the difficulties. So when things are flowing really nicely, teams working well, there's high levels of trust. People like, you know, you say something, it happens immediately. Like you don't need to have structure and setup. I think this kind of playstyle works. I wouldn't say so much maybe that they're at danger of being figured out, but rather like when teams come a little bit more prepared and don't give them all these kills, what is it going to look like?
Sure.
Yeah, this type of a draft definitely can fall apart easily. I think
5
if you
seconds
manage
remaining.
to like punch back between 7 and 15 minutes, if you can have this type of a game even without feeding away too many kills, this type of a draft like OG had in game number 1 is not going to be doing what it's supposed to do. And again, they're going to be going with the Wind Ranger. If it's not broken, don't fix it. But they're still using this as a flex because they can flex it to different roles. Natsumi,
10
even
seconds
Yopaj can play it in a good game for it. This Marcy, we
5
seen
seconds
some
remaining.
position for Marcy, but I also think that like this hero is too valuable to pass on to not be played from position 1.
It can be really good there for sure. I'm a little bit worried about it playing against a Mars though, because pre-BKB, you can get your leaps interrupted in a variety of fashions, which can be really obnoxious. If you don't get on top of your target as Marcy, sometimes it takes you a little bit too much time to catch up.
Watson was one of the first players
Yes.
to play this as carry. I think
10
actually Riyadh
seconds remaining.
or EWC
Hmm.
last year, they were playing it in Gaiman,
5
and
seconds
I
remaining.
know I was thinking like, what are they doing? Like, what is this joke of a hero? And then like 1 month later, we're all on it. We think it's like the best hero in the entire world. And I do know I told Mickey at some point that I thought Mars was very good against Marcy. But I think he just told me like, I don't care. Hero's just that good. So not sure where Marcy's power levels are as a carry now, but definitely know like the matchup, even though in theory makes a lot of sense for Mars,
Team
seems
pick.
like high level Marcy's they don't mind.
It just feels like one of those skill things where, like, yes, if you can interrupt the leap, it feels amazing, but on all the times where that's not possible or you don't see it coming or whatever else, then it's probably not going to feel that good.
Yeah.
Because she's going to rush BKB, and once she has BKB, Mars isn't going to be good against it anyway, so.
10 seconds
I
remaining.
do like
She's
the
only been let
disruptor.
through one time this entire tournament, so we have
Mars?
not seen that
Seconds
Marcy.
remaining.
Marcy.
I do like the disruptor as a response to this potentially carry Wind Ranger, just to have ways of catching her. Like what she wants to do is run in, try to reset a couple of times, but if you can bring her in to the rest of the team with the overwhelming damage that Dragonite and Marcy provides, the hero is just gonna die. Like once you have no wind run, you're kind of cooked.
Mm-hmm. And magic damage is another really good way to kill her. She was a little bit vulnerable last game because of the Scarith Mage, actually. Some of her times with Aegises, she would get exploded immediately on the first one with the Sky ulti. So having like a lockdown with Disruptor with a little bit of layered magic damage on top, you can definitely kill her. They go for the Coddle though, maybe Auras this game, we'll see. Definitely some good area fighting. Do some heals on top of Disruptor ultis. Maybe Blinding Light back the Marcy when she jumps. That's another way to interrupt her leap, I believe.
10
Yeah,
seconds
I think that works
remaining.
too. That was a weird hero
5
to me because I feel
seconds
like
remaining.
the reason I liked this hero a while back was the recall facet, where you could just like spam recalls, you bring people all over the place. But I think that got nerfed, and to me the hero felt really really bad going into TI. But I don't know, like GH for example played it a lot and kind of made it work with the Solar Flare.
Mm-hmm.
So, or yeah, is it Solar Flare?
I believe.
10
Solar
seconds
Bind?
Solar
remaining.
Bind.
Solar Bind,
Bind.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's Solar Flare?
Phoenix.
5 seconds
It's Dragon Ball
remaining.
Z, I think. Pretty sure.
Solar Flare was Mirana's fast.
Oh yeah, that's,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
Mirana's old ult.
Oh.
You're right. You're right.
Of course.
Solar Bind. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a decent vessel hero.
Business.
Huh.
You. Oh no. Shaking your head.
It's no good.
You're dismantling. But that's where I think that's where the captain is. Okay, well, we got a rudderless Millennium Falcon. Who is while this is not the segue I was hoping for.
Chewbacca.
Looks like a taser.
Who is the captain on OG? Is it Skem?
I
Han
think so.
Solo, I'm pretty sure.
Han Solo, yeah, Han Solo.
I see.
Han Solo, lock it in.
Gotcha.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Dire
Greedo.
team ban.
No, but I think it's Scam. It should be Scam.
It should be Skem because
Yeah.
he has captained like 1,000 different rosters in his time.
Probably Scam.
Probably Skem.
Yeah.
Interesting Doom pick. You can dispel the wind run, I suppose, when he uses it at the start of the fight. That's like a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, no heals as well. If we were talking about some of the heals that they do have, like maybe later down the line, first of all, you have Coddle, you have Mars with potentially Bloodsport with the other facet, the Victory Feast. So the heals are not going to be there. Snapfire with the Shard as well. Some like decent amount of heals, but it's going to stop. And Wind Ranger as a core doesn't like to be playing into these heroes like Doom, Disruptor, even a hero like Marcy with the Helm of the Dominator who can get the jump on her just doesn't feel as good. I think OG is going for pretty much the same thing as they did in game number 1. You're not going to be seeing any other team picking these heroes paired up together. And this one, I don't like it as much. We could also maybe see this Coddle move to mid. I think I've seen
feels
once.
like Yopaj type hero
Yes,
mid, right?
like we've seen it once or twice, I believe, in the last couple of months. I wasn't really impressed. I know one of the Chinese teams did play it. I think it was 7E who played it. And I was like, yeah, this hero is kind of bad. Like, especially if you have enough jump, the hero needs like some kind of a protection, some like BKB, force staff. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
The Chewbacca noise. Oh my god. I was gonna say though, I really like playing Disruptor with Doom. I think this is something when I played with Meta, we did quite a bit. When you get the Disruptor Shard, you have like literally like 7 screens worth of cast range on your Q.
Gotcha.
And you know, Meta will just Doom someone anywhere, and then I will just press Q and they basically die. Like it's so much damage from such long range, and it kind of guarantees that Doom can just press the spell very freely. Because you'll notice like the main issue with Doom is you're always scared that you don't deal enough damage during Doom.
Correct.
That they get away. But with Raptor, you will never have that problem.
Yeah.
Because if they're getting away, you can bring them back. And with the Shard on Raptor, you can also provide the damage needed to get the kill. Yeah. I also really like this lane together. Because Doom just deals damage over a long period of time. And Glims loves that. You love to run people down. And Scorched Earth basically just becomes better. So if you pair these two heroes together, they're quite nice together.
Kind of similar with Marcy in some ways. Like she also gap closes, buys you a bunch of time.
Yep.
You can't outfight her, and then you can bring them back too. Pretty synergistic, and they've got 2 different ways to jump, 3 different ways now potentially with Doom and DK and Marcy.
I feel like that's also something that's always nice. It's like when a draft can have a lot of ways to start fights, it just feels good. You have a lot of ways to make moves, or like any 2 combination of heroes kills enemy heroes. In this case, like Yandex heroes like Hoodwink Eve, perfect. You know, for me, this is like ideal game that I want to play. If I'm playing Disruptor, I'm very, very happy because I have really nice pairings in terms of like me plus Doom kill, me plus Marcy kill, even me and Hoodwink kind of like kill for a big portion of the game, and that allows like me to show like my influence over the game. If I'm like in a game where I'm just supposed to stack camps, there's not only so much I can do. I'm leaving it up to my cores. But in this type of game, I feel like he has a lot of freedom and he has the ability to make a lot happen. So my eyes will be glued on presumably Malady playing Disruptor, because I feel like he can do a lot.
Yeah. Now we need to figure out where this Coddle is going. Are we still leaving the possibility, Lacoste, of Yopaj?
I would say no. I think this, because they have a good amount of catch. They have enough gap close. You're playing against Disruptor. Anything in the front line with a blink that's going to be providing you vision. If he gets glimpsed back, this hero is just straight up dead. So not a big fan of that. Okay. Maybe OG can make it work, but again, this type of a lineup, I'm not the biggest fan, even though they did make it work in game number 1. I think Yandex did all the right moves in the second draft to make sure that something that did happen in game 1 doesn't happen again.
What's going to happen in this game 2, though, is an undying 24th pick by OG.
Saberlight would be very excited right now.
Yeah.
He tried to make us play Undying offlane for like a year.
To what success rate?
You guys played it a little bit.
I think he got to play it once in Thailand after like asking William for it for like 3 months. We lost, and William was like, I'm never picking this piece of shit hero again. And then like a few months pass, and everybody's playing Undying, and then I think he got another shot on Undying, and we lost.
No.
And then I think we didn't really touch it for the remainder of the year.
I have heard that William puts heroes on cooldown. He'll let like Boxy play as bounty hunter like once every 6 months, and then he's like, all right, if you lose, we're not picking it again for another 6 months. Maybe this is another experimentation.
I think that mostly is like the players themselves. Like Nisha will definitely put his own heroes on cooldown.
Oh,
like he'll lose with Invoker one game and he's like, it's on cooldown, we're not picking it again. Or Mickey will do the same thing quite a bit. Yeah, it's just on cooldown.
One thing that's cool about their draft, though, it's kind of similar to last game. Scam keeps picking a farm-heavy 5-position hero.
Yeah.
If he wants to get farmed and buy items that helps his team, he can do that. And I feel like it works better with their lineup because they keep picking these hard carries that aren't Giga farm heavy, like Wind Ranger and action heavy heroes. So I think it'll be cool to see this playstyle that's different than other teams. Eventually, you do well.
And also, it's going to be mid Mars, something that they do run. They did run it 3 times during a Blast Slam. They did win 2 out of 3 games, and it looks kind of good in the hands of Yopaj. You're getting more levels, something that Mars is struggling most of the time in the lanes, especially if he's playing in a strong lane. So I want to see how much of an impact he's going to have in this one.
Well, we gotta leave the cantina for right now because the pandas have been treating us to a lot of movie themes because this game number 2 is going to be absolute cinema.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 time here between OG and Yandex. And Quinn, we'll get some switch-ups. One thing that's definitely not changing here, though, is how aggressive I imagine we're going to see OG play this game. Having such things as a mid-Mars, this off-lane Undying. They want to brawl even more than they were in Game 1.
Yeah, this is a bit of a kooky, unusual lineup for them. 5 Coddle is not something I've seen in an insanely long time. I don't even know who maybe Puppy is the last player I've seen play this or something. Not something that's been in meta. Also offlane Undying, a bit strange to pick it into Marcy. You're sort of fighting fire with fire. Marcy, an insanely broken laner, and you're trying to combat that some, but
30 seconds to battle.
oh my, it's like a 15-man decay.
That's a nice decay. See if we can set anything up. They get him with the God's Rebuke as well. Which one will hold back the 3 of them. Blast is going to be off the mark. Doesn't look like either team will get a further grab on one another.
On the flip side, though, while OG does have heroes that are very strong at fighting if they get to their spells, I worry potentially about their lanes. There's a reason why Coddle's not picked that much anymore. The hero in these skirmishes and early fights is very weak. I think DK, in terms of the pressure he puts out, has an advantage against Mars in that early game. And if you've got a Coddle, you have, you're playing against this Disruptor and Marcy are going to have a great lane. Like, I think there's potential that OG can have a rough time in lanes. So we'll have to see if they can actually make it out and get to the point where they can, join these fights and combine their heroes.
Let's see if they can sort of get that ball rolling. It's going to be an exciting game 2 for sure. We saw a pretty skirmish heavy game 1. Lots of action. It's a little bit too much for Yandex to keep up with. This time around, though, they might just have the tools. A bit of a better shot.
I'm curious to see how this mid lane goes, because I do think it should be quite DK favored, almost to a degree that you consider not putting the Mars mid. I think this is one of those matchups where, the coach or whoever asked, is Mars against DK fine? You're like, yeah, it's fine. But, it's kind of not fine. So I'm curious to see if Yopaj actually does get out all right, or if it's rough, because I think it should be quite a pain. Pretty much everything about DK is good against Mars. You're really high damage, you're really high armor, and you're tanky, so Mars can't chip you down with the spells. You can see him already getting beat up like crazy.
Yeah, I think this could get pretty rough. Right, this could be a lane where we're seeing sort of double the last hits, double the denies pretty early.
It's possible, but to be honest, even off these first 2 waves, Yopaj is doing better than he should. I think he is outplaying him pretty hard. He gets cheeky deny there. 6-2 to 4-1 is... Yopaj is straight up outplaying him, honestly. He's actually outclassing him, because this should be going worse than this already.
Yeah, no, this is indeed solid stuff given the circumstances from Yopaj, and even able to get that spear angle, so a few extra tower hits coming in onto Shira Jr. Top lane. Malady,
Dyer's
he's going to be taken out. First blood for Nico.
Alright, scratch what I said. Apparently, this top lane is super chill for OG. The tombstone go, it's a classic. A tale as old as time. Undying hits 2, presses tomb, and you die. This has been going on since as long as I can remember. Not the best to actually give up this kill. You see Watson still getting spammed super far away from that helm. Let's have a salve on his courage, so he'll be alright, but can feel the pressure for sure.
So far, similar CS being found though by both carries. Sumi and Watson getting the same out of both of their lanes.
You can see in a sense why they picked the Kato though, because Windranger is such a strong lane, and it's also Windranger against Doom. I think that should be quite a good matchup for Windranger. You can never Infernal Blade her, ever. You can never really commit in her because she can win run away. I think there's a lot of dynamics there that are pretty good for the Windranger. So Kato can just blast the wave and farm the small camp, and you can play for levels and play for farm and have those later timings. The cost mentioned on the panel, but it seems like OG does prioritize having a 5 hero that can be somewhat greedy, be somewhat farmy, and they can abuse the fact that their 5-player was a core. I think maybe has a little more of the individual skill or more use using items.
Top lane Nico will go down, but the tombstone's doing work. So Tim's might just be able to clean up some action with these zombies building up on both of them. Malady's gone, and indeed Nico gets the cleanup from the grave there with the grave. Bottom, Natsumi will die. So Yandex able to make sure that they are able to get some action going themselves on the other side of the map. Also being able to take down the carry.
Yeah, I mean, this is how you want the game to start for Undying, and also not the way you want it to start for Marcy. Marcy hero that we see banned pretty much every game, so we don't actually get a chance to watch her play that much. The hero is insane in lane in early game, completely bonkers off the chain hero in the early game. But if you're not ahead and you get to that mid game phase, she can falter against a lot of heroes, and Windranger is a hero that has a great carry to carry matchup against Marcy, because you can just avoid her. She can't stick on you. She can't and beat you to death. So if this game does slow down a little bit for Yandex and OG, shows the tempo we saw last game, then I think the carry matchup will be rough.
Rotation coming in from Scam. They want to try and dive the tower. Good cookie and on towards Malady. The blast. I'm going to get the connection, so Malady will be fine. Does force out TP reaction. Saxa also turns up to the top lane.
I didn't. Ooh, they're going.
Jump in. Tims, he will fall. Watson, can he get back out of this though? Should be okay by the looks of it. No further grab, of course, between the two of them right now, the Undying and the Cottles. So Watson can step back. The glimpse in. Might even get the chance to look for Nico. Watson, he's considering going in, but no, doesn't want to make the commitment. He's just got a salve out. Wants to make sure that he gets his HP in a bit of a better spot before he keeps getting back on to look for the fight.
Yeah, honestly, a really smart adjustment from Yandex, bringing the Hoodwink up top and playing for these kills through this. They know the Marcy needs a good start, and they know that things are not going so well here. And then on the flip side, Doom, he's chilling. He's doing all right. He's vibing. He's got a big fat wand, and it's the Cottle's already left. Cottle's not a hero that applies much pressure, so Doom will be fine just last hitting down here. And this Cottle Undying is a classic combo. It's something we played in the past. Ace and Tofu, you just press mana on the Dirge and he just spams Decay over and over and over again. It's miserable to deal with in this early phase of the game. Almost a tri-lane versus tri-lane. I don't remember the last time I've seen this.
I might just get a kill out of this. The Saxa caught by the blast. Tombstone's down. Cannot afford to stick around and try and finish off the Tombstone. Has to just run. We'll get a good pushback. Holding back the two of them should keep him safe, but definitely proving to be very tough for Yandex to have any of the three of them now approach this tower and try and secure this area for Watson to get any sort of farm with this presence of OG with the three of them up and out.
Yeah, they're missing full waves here, and DK and Doom do not want to TP this early in the game, so you can see them. I mean, this tower is almost dead. It's not going to die fully, but it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of waves that Marcy's missing. Only level 3 at almost 6 minutes. She will crack the 4 soon, but you want Marcy to be ahead. You want Marcy to be pressuring, and she is definitely not lowest of the cores. That is not where you want to see this hero.
And the mid, ready to try and keep Chira Jr. off the tower here. Down bottom, they do get the catch onto Natsumi. Big glimpse from Malady. Keeps it coming in, doesn't matter, they can't save him. So Yandex at least able to get out on the map, bringing a +1 down to the bottom lane and taking Natsumi down. And they need to do their best to make sure that Natsumi does not get the space that he was obviously getting to chill in that 1v1, whilst of course that own carry was starting to struggle on the top.
Yeah, nice rotation. I think both teams are adjusting very well to the moves the other team is making, moving their pressure around where they're deciding to go and not go. I think there's a lot of thought and a lot of good plays around these rotations. Notice definitely having the polar opposite game to the one he had last game, where he just had absolutely nothing, was suffocated and farming all game. Much better start this game, already 2 kills in his lane and potential to join fights as more time progresses. So Yandex much less helpless.
The jump top. Bushwhack. Not enough to continue to go on to Nico, and backup is there, Scam. Fueling Nico back up. Pretty much as soon as Watson sees that there's that backup behind him, it's not going to be easy to step up to the wave. The tower might not be long for this game, as need to dive in once more with the tombstone stacks, and will manage to scurry away. But now it should be fine. Out of range for Tims to get any sort of final blast on towards him, so Saxon will live, but this time the tower will fall. OG got to get that objective and take over this area of the map.
Yeah, they do take tower, but it's not the end of the world. The Marcy can still just farm these waves as they come in. They may potentially try to spam pull the hard camp and keep the waves away would be pretty big. As OG is honestly, despite the fact they've had a ton of pressure early, their levels are not that high. The Undying is, I think, just barely cracked level 5. And so they're not quite at the point where they want to run around and start a ton of fights. They honestly need a little more levels. Olive's still not to 6, so he's basically just a mana bot until then. Yeah, they're doing the whole... This has to be contested. If they don't kill this hard camp, then they will just get spam pulled, and Watson will never, ever be able to actually farm the lane because they'll just keep pulling the wave back into this hard camp. It's something we've seen a lot of prevalence from at different points. It's not something you can always do, but when you can, it can be extremely annoying for this Marcy who just wants to farm the waves that come under her tower. They are not coming under her tower right now. Maybe Nico even holds the wave, depending how toxic he wants to be. Yeah, he's actually may hold the wave.
In a minute. Tower is taken. Opaj off the mark with the spear. Won't be able to get the setup, and even if he did, might have been tough to find the burst to kill that DK. Up on the top, Nico. Left alone after the support swang over towards the mid lane to try and help out. Saxa and Watson should be able to find him. A little bit of a heal comes in with the soul rip, but another jump in from Watson allows Yandex to get the kill.
Yeah, and in the meantime, DK just solo takes the mid tower. We talked about the mid matchup. There's not really anything Mars can do, and his supports are not that great at fighting. It's not these Jakiros and Bat Riders we see from Tundra, right? It's a Coddle. The hero is incredibly worthless early game. He is just farm, he's mana, and he is close to the 6. You can see Skem jungling quite a bit here. So he will have that aggression potential coming up soon, but it's not there yet. The tier 1s are already dead, and he does have his Dom on Marcy, so he'll be able to recover. Keep spamming the jump off the creep. Extremely core item for the hero, no way around it, so we'll be able to catch up some on Marcy.
With the fact that, you know, Yandex are getting out of this early game pretty well, and that they have 2 such beefy cores when you look at like the DK and the Doom, see if they could OG find a chance really to go on them completely. Feels like even if you drop an arena down on one of these 2 cores, you're gonna need at least, what, 4 heroes I feel to have a chance of bursting them, getting the kill clean.
Yeah, there's a lot of redundancies between OG supports, right? It's these 2 very backliney, very follow-up supports. Neither one of them is starting that much. So it's super important that Yopaj is in any fight. He's the only catch they have. This is a solo kill.
I mean, this could be when it starts getting rough for the offlane Undying, right? It's one of... We'll see that same time down bottom, talking about the offlane. Look at what's noticed. To be able to turn and get the Doom down. And that's going to force OG to have to start backing away. Malady not going to be able to get any sort of setup with a glimpse. But at the least Notice able to keep himself safe. But offlane Undying, your game can fall off a cliff pretty hard.
It definitely can. And this Mars also wants to get involved. Sort of the flip side of what we saw from the mid Void Spirit in the last game. This hero needs to get kills. He needs to fight. He does not want to be chilling and farming.
Nice little cookie setup. Allows him to close the gap to get the arena out onto the both of them. Kisses to follow up. Notice and Malady taken down. Very nice moves there from the 3 of them. Pims just giving out Yopaj that little bit extra of a gap close to set up for that great arena.
Is under attack.
No, absolutely. It's a great move. But to be honest, I think one that Yandex could have read You can see sometimes the differences between maybe the tier 1 teams and those slightly below. If you think about a Falcons or a Tundra, is Amar or 33 going to die to that gank? I'm not sure, right? You see this top lane pushing in all the way. You see Watson just solo kill the Undying on the top lane. Where do you think the Mars is going to be, right? He's got Arena. They have Kisses. They want to use those spells. And so a much needed burst of gold for OG, but not one I'm sure Yandex should have given away. So despite taking some early towers, giving a little bit back the other way, not ideal.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, this Undying. He's going for the Vanguard. And
I mean, that should at least give him a chance to not die against like Watson getting these sort of little jumps onto him when he's pushing out solo top right. At least allow him to live long enough for backup to come in against these flurry of punches from the Marcy.
Yeah, he will get to the Crimson eventually, probably. Just buying the aura items. It seems to be Nico's playstyle. He's very much aura buyer guy. His role in the team, so he'll be buying the auras.
Come with the smoke on the two of them as they look to switch over towards the bottom side of the map with the Twin Gate. Kira Jr. and Sax out on the aggressive. Getting on towards Scam. Easy opening there with the blink stun. TP's now starting to come in. Kira Jr. maybe considering if he could go for more, but he's under the tier 2. He's got numbers though. Malady, Noticed, and Sax are all here ready to fight. OG though, they've also got backup. Stanix was going to get laid down, but not before the arena came out. So Yopaj was able to get the setup, allowing for that opening onto Kira Jr. It was a decent attempt there from the Disruptor to get that Static Storm down, but the arena was just out that little bit too quickly.
Yeah, it was a big gate from Undying. I was honestly like a bit mixed on how this would go, but Undying had gone through the gate and run there, so totally changed the skirmish and how it was going to go. Watson sitting in the trees here.
He's tempted to go for the solo play. He goes with the ult. Should be able to slowly but surely bring Nico down. TP backup's coming in. It won't be in time to save him. Maybe they can do something in return. Probably not. Noticed to Malady. They're shutting off Tims from getting anywhere close to the action. Drag back with the glimpse. Watson's able to swing over and pick up that kill as well. Double kill for Watson. They're getting these openings in the top, and it does continue to be situations where Nico, there's sort of punishment that's happening for the Undying. It's tough each and every time. As soon as he's out, they're right on top of him.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, Watson says, I see your Vanguard and I raise you a bag of fists, and beats him to a pulp. There's a reason why Marcy is banned so much, because his hero in the early game is absolutely nuts. It is so hard to deal with. And you can see they're kind of getting pushed off the map everywhere. It's the complete polar opposite of last game where OG had all the aggressive potential. Their heroes are so weak early if they don't do well in those lanes. And how can they do well in lanes? It's a Mars mid against a DK. It's a Coddle 5. You can't expect them to be ahead early, but this is what happens when you're not ahead early with that Mars hero. We've seen OG, play this hero to a lot of success from the mid lane, but it's with more tempo. It's in situations where his silent cores are strong and doing well. He can connect and use the arena, and they can open up the map. But outside of that tier 1 dying early on in the game, OG, they haven't really had much of a foothold, and I don't know if that's going to change anywhere in the near future. It's very difficult to gank this DK. Look at all the waves being pushed into them at all times, and as the BKBs get closer, it only gets more difficult for OG.
Yeah, it's getting tough. It's early days, it's only a 4K difference, but still, I say only a decent amount, 15 minutes in. This is not going to be an easy one for OG to sort of stabilize. Yandex, all three of their cores in perfect position. Yeah, as you say, even with that early pressure that OG tried to do on that top lane, hasn't mattered. Watson off the back of kind of getting those, I think it was, 3 back-to-back chances to kill Nico off in that top lane. He is in a perfect place right now alongside the other 2 of his cores. So it's going to be a tough one for OG to try and swing back in their favor.
Yeah, 2 of those were solo kills, and you have to wonder when you see that, was Undying really the counter to Marcy, right? When you see Marcy, you know it's carry. Nobody really plays it forward anymore. It's just a carry Marcy, with the rare exception of offlane Marcy, but kind of doubtful once you see the Doom. So you last pick this Undying, you think it's the best hero for the game, and it has not looked to be so thus far. When you give away the Marcy hero that everyone else bans, you have to have an idea for it. This was their idea, and that doesn't look amazing so far.
Bottom. It's an easy catch there with the bushwhack. That's Natsumi gone. His game continuing to suffer at the moment, sat at the bottom of the cores in the game.
Yeah, they need to find something, and they're going to try.
See what they can do, mate. Decent damage, of course, coming in with the kisses. He's going to try for the TP out, and I tell you what, he gets away. TP's out of there. Watson now turning up. Malady will get the static storm down onto them. Watson will back off for now. A little concerned about getting right in on the action, but now see if he can maybe get back in on a second attempt. They get the glimpse back onto Nico. Still pretty beefy, of course, on the Undying with large amounts of HP. Yopaj will get the spear pushed back onto Notice. Notice trying to run. OG, can they kill off the two? They can with the shackle, but Watson jumps back in onto the two of them. Decay coming in onto both. Watson and Chira, they're in trouble. The spear's there. Watson's gone. Chira to fall. All three of Yandex's cores getting cleaned up there in the mid. Oh, what just happened, Quinn?
I mean, there's that OG magic.
I guess that was some good OG magic there. That was all three of Yandex's cores. They're in a great game. They're in the top 3 spots. They just all died one after another. OG take the fight. They take the tower.
Yeah, that wasn't just one rabbit out the hat. That may have been 3, 4, a dozen rabbits out of the hat. Honestly, a bit of a misread of their heroes' strengths on Yandex. They may be the top net worths, but at that exact moment, they weren't actually that strong. I think OG was stronger. The Doom working on BKB, DK working on BKB, Marcy, like all 3 of them are very close to these BKBs, and they take a fight right before they get all 3 of them. The magic damage from OG is no joke. Crimson Guard finished on Undying now. It didn't have for the last fight, so in these team fights, there's Arena, there's Coddle Spells, there's Decay, there's all of this stuff. It wasn't a good time for Yandex to fight. They misread their heroes. They maybe got baited by each other, getting baited by defending this tower a little bit too much, and they throw a huge lead away.
Absolutely, a massive fight there from OG. Of course, they're going to be ready to try and look for more opportunities like that one as soon as possible. Nico able to survive through it all that time round with the backup of his team. And yeah, indeed, there's the smoke. OG ready to go again. Backs up. He's gonna get found. Push back off onto the 2 of them. He's gonna try for the TP out, but the cookie's in. One for OG. TP down towards the bottom. They want to make these quick moves, try and catch off some of Yandex by surprise. Patch.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Not gonna be able to get the angle quite yet. See how much they hang around. Notice down Malady in the area. So having Chira Jr. relatively close, but Yopaj, he's in straight away. No hesitation. Happy to drop the arena here to catch the disruptor. Malady will try and run. With no escape for him. As God's Rebuke will miss. Doesn't matter though. The spear connects. Another one for OG now settling the score. 11 to 11 here. Only a 1k gold difference. OG shaking up the game.
Yeah, it was looking pretty bleak, but now they're online, right? The heroes have gotten over that hump. They've gotten over that difficult early portion of the game. I was questioning if they were actually going to make it over that difficult period, but they have. The Winninger has the Mjolnir online. Her farm speed is actually at a decent rate. They've got the Pavis online. The Coddle has the entire vessel. Crimson, they have all the fighting tools, and now they're in a state where team fighting is not that straightforward for Yandex. DK and Marcy have a lot of overlap, and they're very single target. I'm going to click you heroes, and if those heroes fall behind, and now against a Crimson Guard, they're going to do 0 damage against Crimson, so they need to kite the fight and play in a very specific way.
Bit of a scary spot here. They'll find him. As Tims will not get a chance of getting out of this one, and Notice easily able to head up and get the Doom down onto Yopaj.
Not good.
Now, might be able to find more. Glimpse back onto Nico. Yandex getting that opportunity to catch OG a little split up, which is you know, rare considering the way we've seen OG playing with the aggression that time round. Should have had the 2 of them, Tims and Yopaj, heading in and not really with much backup behind them, despite how deep they were going onto Yandex's half of the map.
Yeah, anytime you're gonna, you know, go gung-ho like that with just a couple of heroes, you need to be ready. The enemy team can TP there, they can be set up, have vision, and just a bit ambitious, I think, that they were going to kill them with 2, right? We saw them kill a couple heroes bottom lane, but that's just one straggler disruptor, a straggler hoodwink out alone. But when you're running into the belly of the beast on Yandex's side of the map, it's a different matter, right? You need the numbers, like you said, and it just wasn't enough.
Easy. Ow. Malady was never worried.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He is a player that is fine to die to Tormentor. There were times where we were killing it in the past, and he'd be like, it's fine, just kill it, I'll die, I don't care. Oh, you're right. He wasn't worried.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
There you go, Patch. A little bit away from the BKB.
Are scanning.
They'll need a bit of time, OG, before they look to go again for the action. Of course, doesn't mean any sort of passive moments do seem to be just made more of by that of Yandex's cause. Back up to a 5k lead on Yandex. OG, they want to try and shake it up, even in these moments where they don't quite have that next time pickup. They know that every passing minute does hurt them financially in the matchup. 6k lead. They want to try and take this away from Yandex. Yandex, they're also smoked and ready.
Oh boy.
Static Storm comes into play. They'll quickly time the shackle on the focus fire to get that kill in return, but Yopaj, he's going to die for that. Now on the retreat,
Radiant's top tower is
OG
under
backing
attack.
up on Nico's, maybe considering if they can actually keep this fight going. OG jumps in with the tombstone, looking for Watson, but Watson's quickly able to take the tombstone down, of course, and now he's got his hands in on towards Natsumi. They've got the stun control, not enough to kill him. Natsumi's going to get healed back up, and Watson's BKB is about to come to an end. The shackle shot into the cookies there, looking him down, ticking down low.
Yona proc?
Oh. That final proc did indeed bring him down insanely low, but Watson will survive. Saxa able to put a bit of a cheeky stop there to the attempt to TP out from Natsumi, and Malady was thinking about TPing in himself to go for a glimpse play, but OG still with the four of them there. Meant that Yandex didn't want to try and get the T stop back in.
That was a lot closer than I expected it to be honest. You can see the stylistic differences between the team's drafts, right? Like Yandex is all about these fast fights. They have 3 BKBs, and when those BKBs end, they're playing against Coddle, they're playing against Undying Spam. It's a lot of nukes and a lot of spam from OG. That's how they like to draft. They like to play these long fights where they can keep spamming you with spells. And Yandex, they want to burst individual heroes. They have Doom, they have DK Jump, they have Marcy Jump. These heroes want to win the fight quickly, and so if Yandex can win the fight fast, they can burst heroes and they'll just run OG over. But if OG are able to survive and kite a little bit, skirt these fights around, Mars gets to his own BKB and they can elongate things, they do have chances in these fights, because Winranger is, you know, once you get to that BKB, is not going to be an easy hero to bring down. Purge creep, though, is huge. This is one of the reasons why they pick Doom. It's a classic counter to Coddle, because you just take Purge creep and you keep it the whole game. The hero is so centered around Solar Bind, it's like, I don't know, it's 85% of the hero, and the other 5% is Chakra. The other 2 spells don't really do anything in team fights. So you just get your spell purged. It's not happy times. You can see it. It saved like 3 people in that fight or something.
I'm not opposed to
G.
I accept this offering.
Grouped up. See if they're ready to go for another move. This time round, did you lose Yopaj pretty quickly at the start of the action? I've seen Malady be very good with the quick reactions of the Static Storms, dropping them down on whoever dares go in first.
Hey, how you going?
It's an interesting situation, because I do think Yandex is stronger, right? They're up 7k gold, but they need to take the fight really properly, because we've seen earlier this game, you know, moments in which they are stronger, but they take a fight in the wrong way and they get kited and it goes really badly for them. So they're playing it safe, right? It's kind of the opposite of how OG play.
Gonna walk into a bit of a surprise here. Oh, the OG not able to back him up in time. The Nico gone. A look for the Spirit on towards Watson, but the BKB's out immediately. Turns his attention straight over towards Natsumi. They've got the Doom down on towards him as well. Natsumi's gone. Double kill for Watson. Notice he's ready to try and chase out for more. Bushwhacks there from Saxa to follow things up. They burst Tim's down low, try and cookie away, but the Infernal Blade comes in. Tim's gonna get back to the safety of his base in time. He cannot notice, able to reach in and take him down with that final blow. They'll get the 3 of them. Yandex very quick with the aggression, coming over to that deep area of the map, now looking to set up tier 2 tower as well. OG, they just weren't ready for that, and we're seeing at this stage, they've got the tools to deal with the Natsumi Winranger.
Yeah, the BKBs, the Doom, he doesn't have the BKB yet on the Winranger or the Glimpse. There's so many, they do have so many ways to kill him until he gets to that item, and now you can see the gold lead really start to take effect. You can see they just don't have damage for these heroes. Watson, he's BKB just standing in the middle of 5 heroes. Winranger just shooting him, and it's just not doing anything. It's grabbed, doomed, and he's just dead. It's a rough spot to be in, and one of the risks when you pick this mid Mars, you're playing a lot on Snowball, you're playing a lot on Teamfight, And if you don't get those fights early, you don't have that good start, then you will fall behind on damage. You will run into issues, and you see them in full effect. Yopaj cannot kill any heroes.
Tough times now for OG playing into this Aegis. Next 5 minutes. Yandex certainly have the freedom to look for quite a bit across the map. I guess if that's, even if they feel the pressure to, because I'd imagine what in this sort of position with this sort of lead, if you're Yandex with these heroes as well, is there any sort of pressure, or you're like, we can play it safe, we can just farm it up, we're just going to have completely superior scaling to what OG's lineup has?
I think you could if you wanted to. I think Yandex is honestly, they're very chill right now. They have options. Yep. I think they're probably just going to keep picking them off around the map. Their heroes are kind of crap at going high ground unless a lot of heroes are dead. Marcy, somewhat of a bad high ground hero, especially against all the spam from OG. And so I think their game plan will just be put these side lane wards. You see the one top out in front of where the tier 2 used to be. They're just ready for, hey, you're going to run down lanes. We're going to be set up on the side lanes. We're going to pick you off. Watson up top, being a bit of an anchor. If anyone runs on this lane, maybe even looking for a solo kill on somebody, they're ready to pick them off.
Jiro Jr. Looking to get straight in on this. They've got the Yule set up. Natsumi caught by the pushback, the nullify, the sharp shot as well. Dragon Tail to follow up. There's no way to save him. The carry gone, and at the same time, Watson's hot on the chase of Nico. Trying to juke around the trees, but Watson, he's found him. And Nico, no way out of this one. It's starting to get pretty ugly here for OG here in this game too, as Yandex looking to be in full control.
Yeah, you look around and you try to think about how can we actually start a fight? How can we do this? And it's difficult to see. You need to burst a hero somehow, a perfect spear into Winter Chainstone. There are no saves from Yandex, so I think that's your best bet, but finding the actual opening to do that is very difficult because playing a long fight is not an option anymore. There's just too much gold on Yandex, the Yules, the Purge, the BKBs. It's too difficult to play a long fight. You will eventually just get stunned by something and you will get insta-killed. So you need to find that Spear into Shackle burst. It's not easy to do it. The waves are constantly coming into you and you're 16k down.
Gee, see what the call's going to be next. I mean, the smoke's coming out, so they still want to just see if they get lucky in the chance of catching someone out alone. It's going to be hard though. Yandex still with this Aegis on Jiro Jr. and smoked up and ready behind him if OG do try and make this desperate play.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, jumping him is just not an option. If you jump him and he just spawns with Aegis, you can't kill him again. They're going to press BKBs and you're all going to die, so. I
mean, they're looking at him, but as you say, it's not got to feel good to make this move. And in fact, Jiro Jr., he's going to make the move onto them. Jumps into the trees, finds Nico. OG, they're waiting to see if they get more information from behind the Dragon Knight, but he doesn't need the backup. You know, Jiro Jr. is just kind of chilling, doing this on his own, and now there's the jump. They'll look for Watson, but the BKB's out immediately. He looks to run down Yopaj. Now Sumi can't stand his ground here with a focus fire. Has to back away, but the chase is there. They move and drop the Doom down. Yopaj, he'll drop the arena, but he can't hold them back. Triple kill for Jiro Jr. Noticed in on top of Tim's. Nico in trouble once more as Watson jumps back in on top of him. Nico's gone. Ultra kill for Jiro Jr. See if they can get him the rampage. They're trying to.
Give him the rampage.
Controlling Tim's.
Where is he?
He
doesn't even want it.
What? He said he didn't want it. He was too good for the rampage. He said, I don't want to come over. I want the tombstone instead. It definitely looked like they were trying to set up and then they're like, oh, hang on. He doesn't even want the rampage.
It's like it's his birthday.
He's too cool for rampages, Jiro Jr. He doesn't care.
They're trying to shower him with gifts in the Christmas spirit, and he said, nah, don't put them under my tree. You can keep them. Give me a gift card. I don't want your heartfelt presents. The win is enough for him. You're all about that grind, just wants the W, not concerned with the frivolities of this world. Because now it's 24k gold lead, and they're all stuck in base, and you do not get a single kill in that fight. For all the OG believers in chat, I know Seb is watching this. It's not a good position for them. Sorry. Sorry, OG bros.
See what they can do here. On the defense. Maybe some... I mean, what do they have in terms of punishing a high ground siege? They got a spear pushback. That's about it. And wait, if they got the shot on the Wind Ranger, right? Not there yet.
I don't think so.
He still obviously wants to
No,
get his
banana
BKB done,
big one
Natsumi.
press.
About
Grab
1100
box,
gold away from that.
Is under attack.
Maybe after that, just get the shot. Just so you have these kind of repositioning tools to try and punish a bit of an overzealous attempt at the high ground that might come from Yandex. Probably won't. You know, Yandex in such a comfortable spot right now that when that high ground siege comes in, it's going to take a lot for them to mess it up. Got a very comfortable lead here, 22k.
I mean, in the last fight, they weren't able to land that spear into Shackle combo, but there is still potential there. I think they can kill maybe almost any hero in that. They do have a lot of damage within those 2 stuns. They're very long stuns as well. So if they actually find an opening, then there is potential, right? They just couldn't get the connection in that last fight. That's the hard part. If they can actually get the connection, then they can definitely get a kill. And you need to reset, and you need to keep doing that over and over again. You kill one guy, and then you back up and you reset, and you just keep slowly clawing your way back. Maybe, you know, every kill you get, the winner is going to get 1k gold, maybe even more than that. So you just need just 1 kill at a time. You're not going to win this game quickly. It's going to need to go the distance. But if you can claw your way back, 1 kill at a time, Winninger is a very powerful hero that can get out of control very quickly. So, you know, it's not likely, but it is certainly possible that if Yandex is a little stupid and they walk up the hill, they get chain stun, they will die. The Winninger still does damage despite the fact that she's very poor.
And dude, Yopaj, he knows it as well. The ether lens now, so you got that extra little bit of further push with the spear pushbacks. He's ready to try and get them in the fountain when it comes to it.
I respect the Ever. They understand the position they're in, right? There's no buying normal items. No. There's none of this. We're gonna scale up. No, there's no scaling. There's none of that. You need to kill one guy. That's your whole goal. Is you find one guy and you kill him and you run for your life.
Let's see what he goes for that. If he's a smart, you know what, he needs to go for the refresh in it. You got to get that, one spear into the arena, second spear into the arena. Then you take him tier 3s to the thing. We're at the setup here. Mono Watson, but the BKB's able to come out. He's going to go for the TP out, but it's a lot of damage coming in. Not enough to kill him off though. Watson able to get away with that TP.
Shackle just a hair late. I think even if they had just a little bit of mini stun from the Shackle not hitting a tree, it would have been enough, but just a little bit too late. Like, that's the kind of moments you need. So it really hurts when you miss them, because he should have died there. I think if the Shackle just hits slightly earlier, he is dead for sure. And that's like 2k gold for your Winninger. So OG, they have the right idea. You can see the potential there, right? If
it was close.
If Yandex has
been able to punish that,
you can get kills.
Oh, Yandex, they're going to find quite the grab here into the base. Natsumi getting cleaned up instantly. Dead for a minute.
This DK is so strong on Daedalus and MKB. Goodness gracious.
Radiant's
Three
bottom
gone.
tower has fallen.
OG, what can they do? 4 versus 5.
Type of thing Daenerys is riding is he just takes the whole base. There's no fighting while Winninger is dead. This is gone for con.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Fortification to slow things down a little bit. Yandex, they're not going anywhere. This bottom set of racks falling low. The backdoor protection actually kicks back in, but they've got a creep wave coming in on the bottom lane, so quickly take it back out. They get it. The spear set up. Get the rookie and the blast. It's enough to kill Chira Jr. Massive kill on the defense. It doesn't matter. They're 30k down, but we can't. It's OG, the OG magic. It happens. It's happening a little bit. They need to find a bit more of it, but they're showing us that wherever they're looking, they're finding a little bit of it. They keep the game alive, still, of course, massively behind, but they're not having to type GG yet. They're keeping themselves in it.
I'm impressed with Yopaj, this Aether Lens. The fact that he's not farming. He's not like sitting around trying to scale.
Yeah.
Right? We mentioned it before, but he's just not he knows we're just killing heroes. There's no more creeps. Creeps don't exist anymore. It's only heroes.
And I want to see that refresher next. It's absolutely the build in this sort of state of game. Aether Lens refresher. Yopaj, he knows what he needs to do.
Not gonna find Saksa. Very close. A good attempt. But the Blink Hoodwink, that is a slippery rat. We've all seen the meme posted on Reddit 100 million times of the dude grabbing the mouse. That will not be today.
Dire are scanning.
Chill out a little bit now, OG, with the Dragon Knight coming back into play. Maybe if someone steps a bit too far from the rest of the team, they'll find a chance to go for a move. I tell you, Yopaj knows.
Y'all are on the same wavelength.
Dude, as a Mars that's pretty bad in the early and mid game, I've been in this spot many times before. It's like, all right, boys, I'm getting the Ether Lens refresher. Don't worry, I'll spear them into the fountain. It's gonna come here from Yopaj.
I mean, I'll make a bold prediction. If he gets there, if he gets the refresher, OG's got it. I think...
I would agree. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If they keep the game going into the refresher online, there's going to be some big plays coming out. Yopaj might just be able to do it.
Radiant are scanning.
Still, though, absolutely tied against them here. 27k lead still for Yandex. One clean team fight from them should be enough to shut the game down.
Yeah, this Roche fight, OG will potentially have buybacks. It is on their favored side, so they can buy back and pull on this outpost. They've taken it under control, and they have good ways to scout the Roche, so they will need to fight first from Yandex. There's no Roshing.
Let's have a look. This is spooky for OG. They get caught here. The game could be over. Watson, he's in on an eco. Straight away, drags him back. Glimmercave will come out. They're dropping a lot on towards the Undying, and it will succeed in taking him out. He has got buyback available. A fair bit used. I mean, OG want to try and punish the Showpack. He's not to get the spear. Get the BKB off. Foreign is down to 2 of them. Shackle shot will catch on towards the 2 calls, but the BKB also there in time for Chira Jr. They can't focus it onto Notice. Now with BKB running out for Natsumi, he's got to be careful. He's still trying to put back in another shackle shot onto the 2 cores. Nico, of course, buying back for the action, but he's held back by the Ulls. He's going to try and keep the chase going. Spear connects in on towards Chira Jr. He's very low on the Dragon Knight. Is a bit too far into Yandex's half of the map for OG to continue to chase. A glimpse onto Nico. Pushback. You connect. Watson thinking about getting back in, but still very much respecting the potential from OG. Notice. Shiva's guards up. Gets connection in onto Nico. Nico trying to heal up with the Soul Rip. Tombstone will come to an end. Another attempt for a jump ball for Yopaj. He's going to get doomed. Chira Jr. finds the follow Dragon Tail. They get the glimpse back as well. And Watson, he's in straight on top of Natsumi. That's the win Ranger gone. Undying to fall. They've taken the game very nicely there around that last fight. You know, you could see the respect from Yandex. They were being so careful about how they closed up their fight because they knew if they could, the game was going to come to an end. And they do it here, Yandex, pushing it to a game 3.
Yeah, there was the 1%, the 1 in a million, but today was not the day that
Pinapakabalang kayo ng OG, guys. Tipid ka lang dyan. Ito tayo. Kaya ka nag-bench ka din na. Kasi sabi, naantok na eh. Oh. Ito.
king apparently.
Apparently.
Yep, there you go.
I mean, at a
Counter.
baseline, I've always been told that magic damage is a bit of a solution.
Right.
I've been told that anti-heal is a bait, because DK Dragon Blood, you don't... Not that big of a deal, yeah.
Now Snaking picks Pug now, what do you do?
Saying if OG is Falcons right now?
Oh yeah, when I say DK, I just think Skeeter.
Gaspy, okay.
It's Skeeter. I think OG had recruited Skeeter, but it's Skeeter.
They had a lot of success with this Dragonite against
No way.
Tidebound yesterday. Yeah. No way.
Dragonite had success? I can't believe it.
No, you're talking about Skeeter or talking about Dragonites in general? I think the hero is some 50% win rate at the tournament.
Real, eh?
Yeah.
I'm crunching the numbers on this, let's say. Dragon Knight has...
Why are you on WhatsApp?
I'm texting my dude.
Neil, do you have a 1x8 tan color?
A 1x8 tan?
1 block thickness. Nope. That's a 1x2.
I've got a bunch of 2x1s.
No, I need a 1x8.
I've got an L
Must
shape.
be another one.
Dragon Knight has been picked...
40%. Okay, the gyro ban is interesting.
I will say 40.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with it either, but let's see. Maybe it's just because they run a good gyro.
Trust our numbers and say it's 40% win rate out of 22 picks.
That's 1-0 for me, Lacoste.
It is. What are we playing? BO5? BO7?
Alright, let's go. Tusk win rate.
I mean, I just saw
Pick
it on
Chen.
the screen.
You're cheating. I'm gonna
Twitch
get
game.
44%.
Absolutely free. Free lane, free game, free Dota. You pick Chen and you book them flight tickets. Like, that's what you do. Step 1, step 2.
I don't think Hoodwink was a pick that much. Did win previous game, I would say.
Pick it, pick it, pick it, pick it, pick it, pick it, pick it.
Also on the screen.
It was also on the screen.
He's actually cheating. No wonder you won TI. You guys using all the strats, all the info.
Yep. The things that's on the monitor, we look at it and then we make decisions.
Go home.
That seems unfair.
Okay.
Time to go back.
You have to play blindfolded.
One guy, one theme, Yandex, a lot of magical damage.
CD of departure.
Boomerang as well. Amplifies damage from the same. He builds into Shivas later on. So the damage is going to be pretty insane.
Saxum.
On the other side, you have
Final destination?
Dragonite. You have Chen with the heals, bringing out the auras, potentially pipes.
Yep.
Maybe
Sure, Junior.
Depends.
You window?
Home address?
Window or aisle?
Windows
That was
seat.
also very nice. There was a period where Hoodwink, you know when Kurt was playing Hoodwink every single game?
That is a good joke.
Bounce
I can keep you going.
would bounce on a tree and back on you. He would get twice.
Watson.
The Hoodwink Q level 1.
Economy, premium economy.
Hoodwink in trades was Chen.
Chicken luggage, extra?
Armor, and they did like no damage to you.
Did you learn how to play Chen after that?
Next question.
Okay. I mean, we pick X. I don't really know about banning the gyro still, but here we are.
OG go back to what worked well for them in game number 1. Get themselves off.
That's the Pipe carrier for them. Pipe plus mech on Chen.
Oh man, if I was them, I would definitely look at
Not mech as much, 'cause when you have Dragonite
Phoenix.
in the
If
team,
not
it's
Phoenix,
gonna
I could
be
see the A idea being really strong too.
getting solar so that he can pump out
Maybe
sounds good, yeah.
possible DK.
the Doom is still a thing, but you're picking it blind, so I don't think it is
Yeah,
that
I
easy.
go for Doom.
Yeah.
Where's the Vlads that you were so hyped up on?
Look at that OG lineup. They're gonna buy Vlad this game. Okay, got some right clickers ready to go, but it's not gonna feel as good now because that Doom pick. They looked at that enemy squad. They're like, this guy regens, this guy heals.
Now we want BKB, we want BKB fight, we want Lotus Buyer.
The question I used to understanding, which was, what do you do against a Dragon Knight? They've got magic damage, they got a break, they got... technically, we didn't say anti-heal was that important, but Doom is value.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Has Dragon Knight been answered?
Well, we will find out in about 45 minutes from now.
I mean, percentage-based damage is good against high HP heroes. A lot of Dragonites have been buying armlets. You hit that guy, I mean, you don't necessarily have to do it. But we're talking about Infernal Blade. Percentage-based damage that chunks him. Once his BKB's gone, you're going to be doing huge amounts of damage.
Sure. It's rough. It's like literally 2 Falcons. Yeah. Look at it, it's literally 2 Falcons. I would like to apologize to the world for letting Falcons win TI, and now you all have to watch 2 Falcons.
How do you personally? I feel like you could have changed history. And now,
My bad.
here we are.
Sorry guys,
in this
that's on me. I've now been demoted to a caster. This is the consequence of my actions. You guys know.
Wind is not a Falcons flavor, though.
It's still scary, but at least if you get doomed, you're still not like on top of them. If you're doomed and get glimpsed back, you're definitely.
You guys are thinking mid DK carry win runner.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, they could still flex it, but seems like this is going to be. I mean, Jeep, they're going to be taking up their support probably again. They want to be playing this Wind Ranger as a position 4. The power shot with the kill shot. There we go. Very simple with Axe. Could be a very good lane because you can trade. Like whenever you have laner, you can really trade. Like even in certain matchups, like even Jakiro, like one of the strongest position 5s, can't really trade against some of these position 4s because you always have battle hunger.
You got the perfect last pick support for OG. You get Ancient Apparition, 3 instant kill threshold spells on one team.
Which one takes priority?
Yeah, I think
Who gets the gold?
AA always gets the kill credit with Ice Blast. Unless Axe takes priority over it.
No, you can definitely tick people into Ice Blast range and get the kill when somebody's Ice Blast.
I feel like out of those 3,
I would say
Axe get the most. Basing that on absolutely nothing.
Just vibe.
Just
gut feeling. Like the
OG,
dunk,
so wait,
like the
it's not
sound of the
Stem's
dunk
last pick.
overrides other
It was Stem's
abilities.
last pick
Yeah.
the first time.
But
It's their
OG,
position
so wait,
4
it's
player,
not
Tim.
Scam's last pick this time. It was Scam's last pick
What is
the first time.
5 seconds.
Their
Radiant
position
team
4 player
ban.
Tim's.
Yeah, it's for Timothy potentially.
What is Tim's one of last
Dire
pick?
team
Banning
ban.
on a Queen of Pain.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
OG and Yandex getting ready for
Dire
their
team
game
ban.
number
Radiant
3.
team ban.
My panelists getting ready to sculpt. Why'd you abandon your project,
10
Aiden?
What project?
seconds remaining.
Yeah, tell me what project. Show it to the class.
Okay.
5
No, that was
seconds
not it. That
remaining.
was
Is this the camera?
pre-constructed.
This is. Oh no, I broke it. I put so much effort into this.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was all you.
This was all.
The other one.
It showed
What
the
else?
other one.
I don't know what you're talking about. Wait, where's the camera?
It's actually a good mid
this
right
one.
there, though.
Yeah, you buy
This
chainmail
one.
level.
What do you
You
think?
buy chainmail before base.
I was working during like
run-
the game.
Not on that.
Yeah, I was.
I don't think so.
You did
Yeah, it was.
Millennium Falcon. Which spaceship is this one?
This is an X fighter, I think. But we couldn't make like
Hold up vertically.
the wings. Yeah,
Which direction does it fly?
like this.
Yeah, like this.
Like wait, I'll show you. Like this.
What happens if it? What happens if it has to like pull up really fast?
What do you mean?
Like it needs
What
to
does
do
the
like a
lift off
somersault.
look like? Yeah.
Somersault, like this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh.
But stop.
Radiant team
I'm confused. What? Are you guys trying to sexualize this? This is Legos. This is a kid's toy. Stop being so immature.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys are immature, and
This is a very mature.
where are the professionals?
You are the professional.
Thank you. First pick DK from OG. What a surprise. Nobody could have seen this coming. Marcy has been banned after a disastrous game 1.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, disastrous for them because they let it through.
Exactly. They learned their
5
lesson and now it's
seconds
banned.
remaining.
But this time OG's like, yo, but that first phase Underlord last time, we gotta get rid of it.
There was something to it, dude.
Apparently,
We just are
banned it
too
out.
small brain to know.
But
It's the
343.
flex. It's the 5 Underlord that they could have ran because they're running 5 Coddle, 5 Venomancer, and they're afraid to pick it themselves.
I don't think you're right, but I don't know enough about Dota to prove you wrong.
Not right. Hero's not 5.
Slardar also gets banned, and Yandex, they take out the Naga, the Timbersaw, the Shadow Demon, and the Jakiro.
So this is a question I've been asking myself my entire life. What's good against
Radiant
DK?
team ban.
Sand King, apparently.
Apparently.
Yep, there you go.
I mean, at a
Counter.
baseline, I've always been told that
Team
magic damage is a bit of a solution.
Mm-hmm.
I've been told that anti-heal is a bait, because DK Dragonblood, you don't... It's not that big of a
much heal,
deal, yeah.
Hmm. And now Snaking picks Pugna. What do you do?
On, you're saying if
10
OG is
seconds
Falcons right now?
remaining.
Oh yeah, when I see DK, I just think Skeeter.
I see, okay.
It's Skeeter.
5 seconds remaining.
They don't know OG had recruited Skeeter, but it's Skeeter.
They had a lot of success with this Dragonite against
No way.
Tidebound yesterday. Yeah,
Dragon Knight had success. I can't believe it.
No, you're talking about Skeeter or talking about
Dragon Knight in general.
Dragon Knight in general? I think the hero is sub 50% win rate at the tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Shocking.
I'm crunching the numbers on this. Let's see. Dragon Knight has.
Why are you on WhatsApp?
I'm texting my dude.
Neil, do you have a 1x8 tan color?
1x8 tan.
One block thickness? Nope. That's a 1x2.
I've got a bunch of 2x1s.
No, I need a 1x8.
I've got an L
Must
shape.
be another one.
Dragon Knight has been picked 22 times in this tournament, 54% win rate, which is actually lower than I would have expected.
He's been picked a lot. So that means both good and bad teams are playing.
Yes.
That's
10
fair.
seconds remaining.
And I'm assuming he's been picked first quite often.
He's the most picked hero of this
5
tournament.
seconds remaining.
So, reasonable win rate. Mars is the second most picked hero of the tournament. What do you think his win rate is?
40% if I had to guess.
It's like 37 or something.
I will say 40. What is it?
I'm gonna trust our numbers and say it's 40% win rate out of 22 picks.
That's 1-0 for me, Lacoste.
It is. What are we playing? BO5? BO7?
All right, let's go. Tusk win rate.
I mean, I just saw it on screen.
You're cheating. I'm gonna guess 44%.
Oh man, how does he do
no,
it?
this guy's good.
This guy's good.
That's good.
Okay, but what do we actually think Hoodwink's win rate is? I'm gonna say 60.
I don't think Hoodwink was picked
10
that much. Did win previous game. I would say
5
These guys are noobs, so it was also on the
also on the screen.
It was also on the screen.
he's actually cheating. No wonder you won TI. Yeah. You guys using all the strats, all the info.
Yep. The things that's on the monitor, we look at it and then we make decisions based off of that.
That seems unfair.
Good.
Yeah, you have to play blindfolded.
One guy, one theme, Yandex, a lot of magical damage, and like a boomerang as well. Amplifies damage from the Sanking. He builds into Shivas later on. So the damage is going to be pretty insane. And then on the other side, you have survivability, Dragon Knight. You have Chen with the heals, bringing out the auras, potentially Pipe.
Yep.
Maybe Mech early on. Depends what the offlaner is going to be for OG.
Chen is also very nice against Hoodwink. There was a period where Hoodwink, you know when Crit was playing Hoodwink every single game?
Yep.
The bounce thing was like, it would bounce on a tree and back on you.
Yep.
So you'd get hit twice by the Hoodwink Q level 1. And the only hero that actually beat Hoodwink in trades was Chen. Because you would give yourself armor, and the boop, 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 did like no damage to you.
So did you learn how to play Chen after that?
10 seconds
Next question.
remaining.
What's the win rate? Just
OG go back to what worked well for them in game number 1, get themselves on Axe.
That's the Pipe carrier for them. Pipe plus Mech on Chen. I think you also need to be, maybe in this one, not Mech as much, because when you have Dragon Knight in the team, you want to be getting drums, you want to be getting solar so that he can pump out the damage as fast as possible. DK needs extra bit of attack speed, especially at some of these early engagements.
Dire team pick.
These aren't the cool team items. Purge, where's the Vlads that you were so hyped up on?
Look at that OG lineup. They're gonna buy Vlad this game. Okay,
Yeah?
got some right clickers ready to go, but it's not gonna feel as good now because that Doom pick. They looked at the enemy squad. They're like, this guy regens. This guy heals like crazy. Axe has decent regen.
10
Doom these
seconds
guys. Just doom them.
Okay.
Gonna solve the problem. More shenanigans.
I feel like it solves the problem of the question that you said, Insania, which was, what do you do against a Dragon Knight? They've got magic damage, they got a break, they got... technically, we didn't say anti-heal was that important, but Doom is still value.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Has Dragon Knight been answered?
Well, we will find out in about 45 minutes from now.
I mean, percentage-based damage is good against high HP heroes. A lot of Dragon Knights have been buying armlets. You hit that guy, I mean, you don't necessarily have to doom him.
Doom, I think.
But we're talking about Infernal Blade. Percentage-based damage that chunks him. Once his BKB's gone, you're going to be doing huge amounts of damage.
Sure.
This draft, it's like literally 2 Falcons. Yeah. Look, it's literally 2 Falcons. I would like to apologize to the world for letting Falcons win TI, and now you all have to watch 2 Falcons.
I blame you, personally. I feel like you could have changed history.
5 seconds remaining.
And now,
My bad.
here we are.
Sorry, guys.
In this
That's on
timeline.
me. I've now been demoted to a caster. This is the consequence of my actions. I'm one of you guys now.
Wind Ranger is not a Falcon's flavor, though.
I think it's okay here because of no disruptor though. Like Doom is still scary, but at least if you get doomed, you're still not like on top of them. If you're doomed and get glimpsed back, you're definitely dead.
You guys are thinking mid DK carry windrunner probably.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, they can still flex it, but seems like this is gonna be a dip. I mean, OG, they're gonna
10
be
seconds
picking up their
remaining.
support probably last again, unless they want to be playing this
5
Wind Ranger
seconds
as
remaining.
position 4 with the power shot, with the what's it called, the facet
Kill shot.
kill shot. There we go. Very simple with axe. Could be a very good lane because you can trade like whenever you have axe as your offlaner. You can really trade, like even in certain matchups, like even Jakiro, like one of the strongest position 5s, can't really trade against some of these position 4s because you always have battle hunger on you.
Dude, I got the perfect last pick support for OG. You get Ancient Apparition, 3 instant kill threshold spells
Holy
on
moly.
one team.
5
Which one takes priority?
Yeah, I think
Who gets the gold?
AA always gets the kill credit with Ice Blast, unless Axe takes
Not
priority
true.
over it.
No, you can definitely tick people into Ice Blast range and get the kill when somebody's Ice
I
Blast.
feel
someone else
I
gets
feel
the
like
kill.
out of those 3,
I would say
Axe gets
Yes.
it the most.
Yeah.
And I'm basing that on absolutely nothing.
Just vibes.
Just
gut
vibes.
feeling, like the dunk, like the sound of the dunk overrides other abilities.
Yeah.
True.
But OG, so wait, it's not
Radiant
Skem's
team
last pick
back.
this time. It was Skem's last pick first time. It's their position 4 player, Tim's.
Yeah,
Tim's.
it's for Timothy potentially.
What does Tim's want to last pick here?
Why are they banning out a Queen of Pain?
I mean, Earth Spirit guys.
10 seconds.
not- I don't
Radiant
think so.
team pick.
I have a friend at home that got really, really happy for like 5 seconds when you said Earth Spirit's back.
Yeah, I know. That's why I did it for those people.
I'm kind of miffed at this last ban Quap because I was so confident it was going to be a Tim's last pick for OG. Unless they swap what Wind
10
Ranger to
seconds
support.
remaining.
I mean, Quap does well against Sanking mid, I think. I think Quinn can
Riot
confirm or
team
deny that later. But I think it's a tricky matchup. I don't think it's very straightforward, but I think Quap does well.
Holy
I like
moly,
this.
OG zero fucks game, and they're just going all in. Clockwork last pick. This is it. This is the game. If Flax is listening, this is Clockwork mid for OG. He has foreseen this
10 seconds
coming.
remaining.
He's going to chain meal
Chain meal, yeah. Just eat all those chain meals.
5 seconds
against all the
remaining.
physical damage of Yandex.
I want to do that build so bad, but every time I'm like deciding between the fastest, I'm like, there's no possible way this facet is good at 40 minutes. Just can't be.
So what carry does Yandex play? Is it gonna be TB? It's banned.
It's banned.
EB.
Or it's not banned. Arrow banned.
And you're a carry into a...
It's Doom carry.
Carry
Choose your
Doom.
hero.
Oh. Okay. Well, he doesn't attack very fast, so he doesn't have to worry about spinning himself on Doom very often.
I feel like Doom is not like an anime protagonist hero
Which is the type of heroes that Watson plays.
that I like to see Watson play at least.
Gotcha.
5
Maybe he's a
seconds
Doom
remaining.
enthusiast, but I feel like he's no. That does not look like the face of someone that wants to play Doom.
He's enthused.
He's not happy. He's like, guys, I said anti-mage. Why am I playing Doom?
He's going to be playing Doom against a Wind Ranger as the carry-to-carry matchup. Mid DK for a Yopaj against Chira Jr.'s Sand King. And the offlanes of the Mars and the Axe. What's the vibes looking like, gentlemen?
I think it looks fine. Like, as long as he dooms the Wind Ranger, I'm not that worried about the other heroes. And he's got BKB, of course. I'm not that worried about the other heroes on the OG squad if I'm Watson. So he just wants to get tanky, get his Radiance, get a BKB, and then run into the enemy squad and not get focus fired. If focus fire is certainly a threat, but the other heroes, I'm less worried about him.
Really,
Yeah, Natsumi 3 times in a
Yeah,
row.
Yandex
Wind
don't
Ranger.
have
First one, it did look good. Second one, not as good. This
Super
third
heater.
one, I would say slightly better than the second one, but still not the biggest fan because you're
Solid
playing
game-wise,
against into Doom, into
OG
Mars. I
gonna
think
win,
not
but
an
early
easy way
game
for him
fight.
to come into the fight and deal damage again.
Yandex.
And
I think the viewers
Early to mid.
We'll
are
enjoy
gonna
it.
enjoy this.
If the game ended,
you learn fast,
Yandex
my
gonna
friend.
win.
All right, well, if you don't want to make a prediction, then we'll just
But
watch it
late
all
game
play out
OG.
in game number 3.
With OG early scale also, they can win mid game.
and gentlemen, yes, we're just about getting ready to get into the action of this game 3 between OG and Yandex. Quinn, what do you make of this one? We're indeed getting this carry win range once again from OG that they love, and again, sort of similar tempo, maybe a bit more stable, I'd say, around this DK now being part of the lineup for Yopaj, and up against sort of a lineup that they switch stuff up at the end of the draft, right? They say, you know what, we want to put this Kit Doom on the carry, put it in Watson's hands.
Yeah, I think it's a much more even draft than both of the prior 2 games, but I think both teams made weird changes at the end. I think Clockwork is a hero that I personally just don't think is very good at all. We've not seen much success in the hero. And then on the flip side, they put Doom Carry, which is a traditional, and I mean not traditional, but like in the past year, it was a counter to Axe. And Axe's first pick every game, you pick Doom Carry because Inferno Blade is super good against him. Also, they kind of want a melee carry with Pugna. You don't really want Pugna with his range, dude, right? Pugna wants some beefy boys to go in front of him, a la Falcon style. So it makes sense putting the Doom Carry here. It's kind of difficult to pick carries against the Axe because it's such a dominant hero in the early game, but it is not a hero Watson is super comfortable on. He can play it, don't get me wrong, but it's not, like, I agree with Aiden in that he's talking about, you know, the anime protagonist heroes, the PLs and the Terrorblades, the TAs. That's Watson's specialty. Doom, he's you know, he's Satan posting. He's not so much about the anime vibes.
See what Watson's able to bring out on this, and we did, I guess we saw actually on the load-in that you know, this Tim's Clock, maybe one of the reasons why they also want to go for it. It is one of his more played heroes. It had, I think it had about 500 games. It was like 300 wins, 200 losses. So, you know, this guy, he likes to roll with the clock. So almost certainly something about this game that had Tim sort of saying to the lads, pick me the clock. I'm going to be able to crush it.
Yeah, traditionally the hero is considered good against Pugna. Everything else in the game, it's sort of shmeep shmop. I think it's okay. I think it's decent against Doom too. Pretty bad at killing the cogs. So against the lane he's against, it makes a lot of sense. It is good against both those heroes, I'd say. But it's not a hero that pairs overly well with Axe, generally, I'd say. You either want follow-up damage or you want someone who's going to run around and gank other lanes. Will he be ganking a Sand King? Probably not. Will he be ganking this Mars Hoodwink? I don't know if he'll be doing that either. They're both pretty robust lanes that aren't the easiest to gank. So we'll see how the gameplay actually shapes up. But I think overall, it's a pretty solid draft. It's less pokey than the other ones, more committal, more right-clicky. They have the DK mid, so Yopaj back to more of that right-clicking style compared to the Mars from game 2.
And overall, would you imagine that OG are going to look to play a very similar tempo to what they succeeded with in game 1 and didn't quite get going in game 2?
I think they will try to play fast, but I think it's difficult to play as fast as when you have Nature's Prophet. I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. They're not going to get trounced in lanes, I don't think. But they also, like, DK is a slower hero, right? You know what DK is going to do. He's going to sit mid. He's going to hit the tower. He's going to farm until he gets Blink. And then once he gets the Blink, then things can open up. You can start to make plays. You can connect heroes. But on top of that, they got a Chen, right? Chen is an unorthodox hero in that he kind of just farms and gets auras, and you get to this invincible ball timing. So it's a little bit of a different style. It's less killy. There's definitely some skirmish and some aggression potential, but it's not quite the same.
Do you think that when you look at Yandex's lineup, they, like, how quickly do they sort of reach this point where they have this overwhelming team fight sort of set up between the Mars and the Sand King that is going to be enough to sort of cut through OG's early group up and push attempts at those outer towers?
It'll be a little bit, I think. Sand King as a hero is not super down to TP anywhere until he's at a minimum 6. But even then, Sand King is generally a hero he's kind of farming his stacks. He's doing his thing. You know, he's pressing W on the wave. He's pressing W on stacks, and everything is dying. So there's like some interesting dynamics between him and DK, and the DK is pressuring his tower like crazy, but Sand King is one of the hardest heroes to pressure against. So how those early waves go, how the Sentry Wars go, things like this can determine a lot. I think generally it's a matchup that's pretty good for Sand King because you just defend your tower, you defend your areas, you apply this mischance to DK, you can farm the stacks and play on economy, something that is oftentimes very good to do against DK is just get really farmed until you get to the point where you have enough damage to cut through him. So I can see the rationale.
Never, what does sort of both team support duos say to you?
OG, I mean, OG supports are very low damage. They're very sort of, we sit in our lane, we pull waves. Like they're not fighters, not rune fighters really. So I envision them sort of just sitting in their lane and doing their thing for a while. Maybe Clock could look at the safe lane if Yandex does something silly, but they're very stationary. They're sort of just dudes who just do their thing, especially the Chen. And on the flip side, they kind of are full damage bros, right? It's full follow-up. It's full, I sit behind my cores go in. Their lineup is very Falcons. I think if you look at this draft, there's a decent chance you'd say Falcons. It's the 3 melee bros, it's the Chads, and then behind them
you got the snaking
the 2
Pugner
nerds.
and the crit hoodwink.
That's right.
Yeah.
The adults behind the 3 kids, or I guess Skitter's not a kid anyway. 2 kids and Skitter. Right? That's what this looks like, but it's different. It's like, I don't know how old these players are, so I can't really make correlations. But you know, it's not. It's similar.
See if they can get the job done. I mean, obviously in that game too, Yandex did look very, very good, and yeah, all 3 of their cores got insanely farmed. OG not able to keep up with them that time round. You know, do apologize for the pause. Just waiting for everyone in Yandex to get connected. Hopefully they should be good to go shortly. Yeah, it looks like everyone's back in the lobby, so should be able to get the game underway very shortly. Get all the players ready.
I wonder why it's just him, because they're at boot camp. So I'm a bit surprised that not everyone. Maybe his PC blew up. Maybe, you know, sometimes you ever like when you're playing like Xbox as a kid or something, you're like leaning back and you like turn the Xbox off with your toe, like you accidentally press the power button.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, maybe it was one of those things. He's leaned back and turned the PC off with his toe.
He's back in now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 3 time between OG and Yandex. See who's able to get this one in the bag. Except, what do you think? Do you sort of have a preference to one of the lineups?
I think I probably prefer Yandex. I think they have a nice mixture of spells. There's a reason why Falcons follows this formula so often. It's a very solid formula, the melee cores with the range supports. I think it's the easiest way to play and to draft. Melee cores just tend to work better. Generally, having range cores and melee supports is a more high-skill way to play, oftentimes. So it's very simple, it's very basic. And I also think this Wind Ranger hero is a mixed bag against Doom. While Doom in the lane can't do much to Wind Ranger in terms of like sticking on her, they're not in the lane. And Doom is very, very good against Wind Ranger in the game because she's all about pressing this wind run over and over again and kiting going in and out. If you just get doomed and he deletes all your spells, there's not much you can do. So we'll see how that pans out. Carry Doom is a little different. He's more about the right clicking, so maybe it's better, to be honest, than if it's an off-lane Doom, apart from the lane. Junior decided to kill his ward for some reason. Why exactly? Someone see it? What is the? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. Did he feel that the DK saw him?
I don't know. It's weird. Maybe he thought whenever the Sentry War starts, that it's going to get caught in the crossfire, collateral damage on the obs. Because to be honest, normally when you have Sanking, you don't ward around mid. You ward like really far to the side because otherwise they like there will be a Sentry War and your ward will get killed.
It's going to get caught. Yeah.
It's really bad to feed the wards. It's so much XP. Oh, he took Hellbear. What the heck? Chen. I haven't seen that in a while. Everybody always takes mana.
I mean, is there anything about this game that sort of say to you go for that change?
Not really. Normally you would take it against... I mean, the thing is, Doom's not in his lane. Normally you take it against Doom or heroes that can eat your creep because, you know, they're going to eat you. Holy crap, he's taking so much damage. What the heck?
Yeah, that was half his HP gone.
What are these right clicks? What does his creep do? Just gives attack speed and stuff when it... Oh, gives attack speed aura. Okay, maybe it's cute with Wind Ranger. Maybe they just click the crap out of it. Maybe that's the rationale.
All right, there you go. Yeah, no, it's getting quite the punching there from the 2 of them.
Dude, they're beating them up. Good. What is his damage? Holy crap, Tangled is a broken facet. My gosh. And today I learned.
So with that sort of you know, playing out a bit, but this should be what, pretty nice lane for Natsumi, pretty safe lane.
Yeah, I imagine so. Mars, I think against this lane in particular, I mean, Chen is just such an oppressive hero. A little bit of a pause again. I mean, he's got to put shoes on. I think he touched he turned the PC out with his toe again.
No, no.
We need shoes on this man.
I mean, no one's disconnected yet, so it'll just be the old lag.
See, that's unlucky.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'd like Chen is just, he gives armor if you ever go on him. He just keeps bowling the small camp. He hits you with his creep, hits you with his hero. He's got 57 damage at level 1, which is honestly very high. So they're just going to click the crap out of you and keep pulling the small camp. It's a very strong lane. I imagine OG's going to have a very chill time up here or down here. Curious how this mid lane goes. DK talked about it before. It's very, very powerful hero early in the lane, but Sand King is the kind of the king of drawing the lane. Of just saying, I'm going to chill because I'm invisible and I make you miss when you're standing in the sand. So I'm just going to vibe, I'm going to push the wave, and I'm going to farm stacks. So I'm curious how much Yandex plays for the off lane, how much they're stacking, you know, where their priorities lie on how they want to play this early game. Do they want to just play chill and get their gold up, or are they looking to make moves of their own?
Tim's trying to do his best there to keep Malady at a distance. Just the moment between Watson and Nico. Even right now. Only 2 cores on this lane. Well, 2's hit. Go for the setup onto Watson, but Watson stopped it to sort of stand his ground. Tim's falling very low, only just surviving there, Tim's. Watson should be fine. And the blast comes in onto Nico. I mean, OG, they did try and go immediately for that move there when the level 2s were hit, but the trade definitely not favoring them.
Yeah, he does not have much HP on Axe. He's got tangos coming, but this is really low HP, and that's a problem. This Axe hero is a hero that needs to get off to a good start. He can farm stacks and come back, but so much of that hero's power is different from what it used to be, especially the way that Nico likes to play it. It's about the auras, it's about the battle hunger spam, it's about that skirmish. And when you're behind early, power of that skirmishing falls behind quite a bit. The enemy can avoid you and not get caught in these in-between areas where the spam of that annoying pesky poke irritates you.
Tim's unable to get the setup there. Again, see Chiro Jr. grabbing the wave. Continues to go very evenly in the mid.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they, you know, choose to move their heroes around. I think it's a game where both side laners have one lane that's doing really well and one lane that's doing, you know, pretty poorly. I really worry for this Mars. You're looking at bottom, almost no mana, no HP. What the heck?
Should be fine.
I mean, both of them now super low resources, and this Wind Ranger, she's just gonna keep plinking away, keep right-clicking, pressing those shackle shots for the bonus damage. And it's mounting. This Mars is not a happy camper. 3 empty inventory slots. His inventory looks super ugly. And they're continuing to just get shot.
It's looking pretty solid so far from the safe lane of OG. Definitely see why they very comfortable to keep just picking this carry Wind Ranger. I'm in the lane, but we'll get clipped here by the spear. The Saxa and Noticed are both very low. So can't really mess around too much with Natsumi.
That's really catchy, Mars. Too bad you're tone deaf.
I don't envision it getting better anytime soon. They're buying regen to try to keep things afloat, but the spam is going to keep coming, and Yannex's heroes, your 5 is a Pugna. He's not really going to TP and change much about the situation. You're Sand King. It's a long while before he's going to be looking to gank, and don't even think about Doom. So they're kind of just stuck on this island while they just get plinked away at for the foreseeable future.
Top lane, Malady also getting bullied out, so won't be able to do much at all about Nico grabbing the creep waves. Likely both cores will be able to eat up the waves as they come in on the lanes.
Yeah, pretty quiet over early game overall. It's not surprising, I think, considering the heroes. The big loser in all of this really is the Mars. But overall, it's very much a farm fest. And I wonder when and where that, you know, sort of trade of farm is going to be broken, how long it's going to continue for. Because I think OG, the onus is on them to do things and to speed the game up, make these moves. And so we see Clockwork moving down to this bottom. Like, they don't want to just sit and trade farm. I think it's not the way their heroes like to play. Axe's wave cutting anyway, and pressuring Doom is pretty difficult, so first one was to mix things up a little bit.
Yeah, Tim's was not able to make the move when he's supposed to surprise potential. We'll see over in the mid. Wishwag's going to set up here for Chiro Jr. to get the epicenter off, run down Yopash, get that first blood. Same time, OG will make the move down bottom. Of course, Yandex just a little bit quicker to make the play mid.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the Sand King against DK matchup, right? DK, he wants to pressure that lane, he wants to pressure the tower. Tower's full HP. DK has already used ult one time. That's not something you see very often. And Sand King now, with getting the kill, he's going to take it to his level 7 very fast. Any pressure on this mid lane is gone for a long time, and DK is not a hero that ganks or skirmishes very well if he's not in a position of pressure. So OG's tempo has gotten slowed down a lot. I think you're primarily looking at side lanes now at this point, or looking at that safe lane, continuing to bully this Mars, because pressuring mid is off the table.
Tim's in position to maybe threaten the 7-minute wisdom, but backup's coming in. Chira Jr. on the way over with the Invis rune. He's in with the Burrow Strike over towards Tim. Stacks up, falling low. Tim's got to put the Lotus, and he's going to survive. Same time, Nico, of course, getting chased on the other side of the map by Watson and Malady. Try and head into the neutral camp. Natsumi tries to get back over towards the Wisdom, but the Burrow Strike's there into the Bushwhack. Yandex, they'll be able to maintain this area, keep that Wisdom safe for themselves, and at the same time, find that chance to chase down the Axe and get the kill top.
Yeah, good plays from Yandex defending their areas. It does give some time for DK to put a little bit of damage on the mid tower. He'll pop his ulti now potentially and hit it a little more. So actually more than a little damage, quite a solid chunk of damage, but not the end of the world. They have to help this Mars to give him some space. You can see he's still just dirt poor. He's not going to be in the game for a little bit, still chilling. So Chira trying to pick up some of that slack, getting a couple kills here and there. Very good for him, but their heroes are not that great at making moves. You can see Soxa still stacking up the camps. They're probably not doing anything super aggressive. They may just try to kill the Axe more if he keeps on with the cutting. ED, so we'll farm those stacks very, very, very quickly if he does choose to do so.
See if they can keep Yopaj off the town. Not going to be easy this time round. Step forward. Sandstorm down at least, and now further backup coming in. Noticed also joining around the mid if necessary.
OG doing a great job moving heroes around. You see this move bottom, they force Yandex to respawn there, and then now because they respawn bottom, they use their TPs, they're able to get pressure mid. It's a very nice way of playing the game, making your enemies run around, hurts their efficiency, and also allows you to build up some pressure. Having the enemy on the back foot, you're the one dictating things, always feels better, and you can see suddenly tempo of things shifted. As DK dies, things feel really bad, but they don't react to it, right? They keep their own pressure bottom. They keep doing things in the areas where they are strong. They don't overreact, and it works out very well for them. Now suddenly almost out of thin air, they're up 1k gold, even though Yandex is a team with the big stacks. Very impressive from OG. Good restraint to not, follow that instinct of save your buddy syndrome.
Step in and drop down the Doom. He's probably able to hold back Watson for now. Axe looking to be in a whole world of pain again. You can come out with some good jukes here. Saxon's going to try for the chase to ensure that Nico does not manage to escape. Acorn shot into the bushwhack there just in time to stop the TP. They'll get the kill. But of course, at the same time, Natsumi able to find a chance to run down Notice. So getting the trade here, OG. Of course, finishing off the job in the mid lane. Yopaj taking that tower.
Yep, he'll have the blink soon on Sand King. So farming the stack in the meantime. After all the moves that OG made, that tower was going to go down mid eventually. And Yopaj making a very interesting deviation from the normally Dragon Knight build, going for Mage Slayer. Not an item we see very often anymore. It is a great Mage Slayer game. It's good against pretty much all 5 heroes, but it is a very weird item. It's been nerfed, last 1 second less than whenever every hero was buying it all the time. So there's a reason it's fallen out of favor. And while this is a good Mage Slayer game on paper, and I like the creativity, we'll see if it actually pans out.
See in the river. They can get the catch on to Sims. Able to make the quick plays here. Chira Jr. ready to go. That's set up.
Dire are scanning.
OG. Going to try and move Natsumi over to the top side of the map, see if they find a chance to get a kill, or at the least take out the tier 1 from the top side.
Yeah, Doom is very weak right now. No Doom, and also he's gone for Midas first. He is very much in farm mode. Not a strong hero, not super down to be in big fights, so makes a lot of sense to gank him.
Tower is under attack.
Sumi. Catch Watson by surprise here with this move through the twin gate. Gets the setup into the focus fire, but the Decrepify comes in, allows him to TP out. They don't have any extra little bit of burst to finish him off. Watson's safe.
Yeah, Pugna, I guess, against this, full right-click Wind Ranger with no points in power shot, pretty solid.
Tim's and the river will get saved here by the hand of God. Now with Yopaj turning up, they might be able to turn and threaten Chira Jr. instead. Nico as well coming in from the side. Chira Jr. this time round will get punished. Last time he got away with that jump on and was Tim's. This time around, Tim's, he's got the backup.
That was kind of shocking. I didn't expect him to just die like that, and I don't think he did either. He was kind of just standing there chilling, and then suddenly DK just beats him to a pulp. Super farmed in Yopaj, and he's going to farm this Ancient stack now, so going for more of that farming route, not buying the Blink first. And I like it. If you look at OG's heroes, there's very little follow-up damage. If he does buy that Blink and he tries to make too many moves early, there's a pretty decent chance he overextends, he feeds. So going for the safer route, buying the farming item first, we'll go for the Blink after whenever the timings align a little bit better. I like the conscious decisions. I think Yopaj has impressed me a lot as a player recently. He's improved a lot. He plays very much for his game, and he's not overreacting to things. And I like these decisions. I think making smart choices.
UK lead at the moment here for OG. All in all, a bit of a quieter early game, 12 minutes in, but very much with that focus on trying to get Watson a sort of safe area on this top side Yandex so he can make his way towards the Radiance on top of the Midas.
Really strange game. Yandex, their heroes are honestly so weak right now. This Doom is not super interested in joining the game for quite some time. Mars is about as weak as can be, and Sanking, sure, he's got his Blink, he has his Epicenter up, but are you really going to be able to kill the OG cores if they're not out of position someplace? Axe has Blade Mail and a cloak with Mage Slayer on the DK.
It's going to be off the mark, but it doesn't matter. Still able to get in with the Dragon Tail connection. Nowhere for Saxa to run. Can they take some of these stacks here with the Dragon Form?
Without a contest, absolutely. And we'll see if Yandex wants to TP more heroes, but Sanking is not enough. Mars is looking over. He does have Arena.
Looks like OG might feel that they don't want to try and push it. They might not get the chance though, because the catch is already there. They jump in with the Burrow Strike. Notice we'll get the Arena locked down on towards Yopaj. Yopaj backups coming in the form of Natsumi, but they cannot get Yopaj out of here. Yandex will be able to punish Yopaj there for sticking around a little too long.
Yeah, that's honestly a bit of silly greed. You know the Mars has got Arena. You know you can get Blink stunned. That's what happens when you buy these tanky items. Sometimes you can get baited by yourself, that you're like, I'm tanky, I'm strong, and you stand in front, they go on you, and you're not as tanky as you think you are. This Mage Slayer item can be a little bit deceptive in how tanky it actually makes you. That's why I question if it was the right choice here, if something like the armlets would have been better if you want to go for that farming route, but stuck with it now, so see how it changes things in the future, but OG throwing away a little bit of their lead. The Doom is getting closer toward that Radiance. Mars getting closer to Blink, right? Like, Yandex is very okay with a chill game. They need to get closer to their timings because they're not quite at a position where they're ready to go all out and fight yet.
Very much getting these minutes to breathe on Yandex. OG.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So what they do next is the pressure coming in onto the tier 1 mid.
Are fortified.
Notification is there, and they do have Yopaj and Tim's coming in from the side. Chuck comes in. Look at the catch on Asaxa. Should be a quick and easy grab onto the support. The Crepify not going to do too much there as the cogs come in. Push them away for now. At least not actually been able to get the tower denied there. Creeps end up finishing off the job, so Yandex, they'll succeed in taking the tier 1 mid.
There's an interesting clash of timings coming up. It's sort of a race between Axe toward the pipe and Yandex toward more of those spells and items that they're ready to fight. But unfortunately for them, the pipe is insanely good against all their timings, so. Heck? Okay, just killing the creeps.
Nico, a little off the mark there with the call.
Symphony of skills. Happens to the best of us. So yeah, we'll see if Yandex can actually reach those timings and take a fight before the pipe comes out, because once that pipe is there, you're playing against the pipe, against a Mage Slayer. Will they have the damage? It's somewhat unclear. Depends how things break out a little bit, but it's not super cut and dry for Yandex.
Actually, he's got eyes on Scam here. Scam looking pretty dead. Not a lot to be done. Caught out at the side. Oh, he's making them work for it, Scam.
Is he gonna take it?
Hand of God's well, you know, he's making them really go for it. At the same time, they're going to get the catch on a notice. So, you know what, Scam will say space created, because the trade, it's a good one for OG. They get the core on the other side.
Yeah, you'll take that any day of the week. Notice continues to have his day ruined and his blink delayed. No shortage of either one of those things. I mean, also, I you know, just ask you to take a glance at the score. No real reason, but it's good to just keep note of the standing of things. Just no particular reason. Just thought I'd mention that. It's all good.
you go.
Dire's bottom tower
Zone
is
will love
under
that.
attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Natsumi closing in on the Mjolnir. It's 300 off the recipe. His farm should start to skyrocket. The same to be said, though, of course, for Watson. Radiant's right round the corner. We'll see how these two cores, these two carries are able to scale into one another.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even though he's just gotten the Radiance, you'd think he's like the big bad boss, but it's not actually that easy for him to connect to fights or to get into the game somehow. The way the lanes are being pushed out. And I think part of it is that Sand King is off the map wanting to catch heroes all the time. Mars is doing similar. They've got all these blinks. It's not actually that easy to connect. Watson sort of needs to show and push these lanes so the move is not too obvious. Let's see if they can connect here on Winteringer. He knows. He smokes, or he scans rather. And slips away into the night.
Dire are scanning.
I'm going to find anyone down here, Yandex. And the Lee should be able to push forward for the tier 1 tower. Likely that OG will look to turn up and defend that at this point.
Very different showing than what we saw from the prior two games where it was sort of go, go, go from both teams. In the first game, OG, the second, Yandex. In this one, due to lineups, and maybe also a little bit of the game 3 pressure, right? I think oftentimes there is a difference in the way game 1 and 2 are played to the way game 3 is played, and similarly in a best of 5, right? That 5th game will oftentimes be a little more tentative, a little more scared, especially when the teams are even. I think these two teams definitely are.
Sims. You can get the grab onto Malady, and easily with the drag tail coming in, but the Arena Spit does come out in response from Notice, trying to help fight back against them. Buys time for Watson to get in on this, but Malady's already got Watson turns, drops the Doom down onto Nico. Looks back as well to hold Nico close to the action, but Nico's still able to run sharpshooter hits. It's still not enough damage to kill him. Nico should be fine, and Yopash, he jumps in looking for more. If they killed off Chira Jr., they're going to get the grab on a Notice as well and kill him off on top of it. And indeed, Nico, amongst all of that, survives. I mean, Yandex, they signed themselves up for that fight, Quinn.
Yeah, they thought they were stronger there, but honestly, super disjointed the way the spells were cast, the way the heroes combined. It felt very forced, almost like one person is making a call and everyone else is like, yeah, sure, I can go in, I can fight. Like the way Watson ran in and doomed the guy felt almost out of obligation rather than him thinking this is the right thing to do. And I think how stagnant this game is, how stale it is, this weirdness of your Mars continuing to get ganked, you have no pressure on the other side, no counterbalance. It feels like OG has almost been in control the entire game, even though Yandex has been getting kills here and there. There were some pickoffs, Yopaj dies earlier in the game, but it hasn't felt like they've really had much momentum.
That's him keeping the action going, spots a freebie in the mid, stacks up.
You hate to see it if you're a Yandex fan. It's I mean, this winter is absolutely going to get to this BKB timing very well. So is the DK, and you've got the pipe coming online very soon. With all those 3 items, the fighting for Yandex is going to have to be very high skill, very slow fights where you go in and out, you kite the pipe, you kite these BKBs, because running headlong into them is going to end really poorly for you.
G. In position to go straight for the Tormentor here, 20 minutes in. Nothing to be said about this by a Yandex. Shard will go the way of Scam.
This game is a bit of a testament to Yandex looking a little uncomfortable. I think Watson's hero is so pivotal and core to the way this team plays, to their identity, that he is playing the super hard carry. And when he's playing something like the Doom, it's a little off, it's a little odd, kind of kooky, and it changes the way that their heroes play and move. I can just feel a difference whenever he's not playing these hard carries. Something about the way he farms or how fast he's able to push the lanes. I can't put my finger exactly on what it is, but you can feel a difference, and you can feel that Yandex is not super comfortable in this game.
Yandex, I mean, they're looking at Nico, but it's the blade mail with the pipe. It's not someone you really want to jump unless you're 100% you can get the job done, and I think that they don't think that they can. Yeah. They know that that's not something to do. They spent a bit of time down here with the 3 of them, but nothing to be made out of that move.
That's really interesting. I'm not actually even sure if they can kill him or not. I think it's kind of close. It's on the fence. There's a solar and a hand of God who's got an essence ring.
Yeah.
I think they probably made the right call. They do have a DD on Sand King. It feels...
Yeah, even with that, they sort of questioned whether they could go for the play.
Yeah, it surprises me a little bit. I'm surprised they didn't even try and like force TPs, you know, stun him with the Mars and hold the Sand King stun to stun out, but they decided it's too scary. Pretty surprising.
And the micro there for Scam just in time. Used him with the stun. Dunk there for Nico. And same time in the mid now, Sumi's just found Chira Jr. Chira Jr.'s got to run. Focus fires in on towards him. The burst stroke's already been used. There's no further way to get away from this. Yandex starting to look a bit lost at this point in the game.
They really do. It doesn't look like they have a clear idea. They don't look on the same page. The way their heroes are moving around, getting picked off in weird places. Now they do a two-man smoke. This almost feels like they need to get, like they feel they need to do something compared to this being a good calculated move.
I mean, do these two heroes succeed with this? This seems, I mean, what sort of situation they're trying to find it?
I mean, I don't think they're gonna 2v5 them. Maybe I greatly underestimate Doom's strength, but I don't think so. Look, BKB on it.
I mean, Watson wants to go in for this. He's walking forward. He's just gonna get stunned straight away by Yopatch. Hookshot comes in from Tim. His cogs are down.
What?
Son. He's dead. I mean, instead they look lost. They look more lost than looking lost. I don't know. What's going on, Quinn?
that was so weird. But I don't know who made that call, but there is, if I'm being honest, I feel like they're straight up like, they're like tilted almost.
Maybe the panel was right, you know, they were like, Watson probably don't want to play Doom. You know, it's just not his hero. He's not having fun. He's like, get me out of this game.
That's what that looked like. I mean, there's just no way you can think this is gonna work. You're running into Pipe, Solar, BKBs, 5 heroes. You're just as 2. Doom, not even a BKB finish. He's got a Midas in his inventory. There was no way that was gonna work. And I think Yandex would agree with that. That was not a decision made of rationale. That was out of pressure and fear and maybe nervousness. I'm not sure exactly what combination soup of emotions caused that, but it was definitely not Dota skill.
Tough one here for Yandex. OG looking to be back on form in this game 3 after a rough game 2. Looking, just to be completely inside the heads of Yandex and making it evidently impossible for Yandex to really pull any sort of move together. OG going to be on top of them right now and continuing as the jump down bottom. Notice will be at least able to push back. Yopatch with the spear should allow him to walk away. Nico, see if we get some sort of cheeky opportunity here. And he might just find it. Children just... Nico's gonna get him. Gets him with the core. Shackle shot not gonna latch. Doesn't matter. Ooh, he actually does that out detection. Sometimes happens when it's the 2 cores out on the hunt, you know.
This is annoying to hold.
It is. Yopatch able to find Malady though here with the help of Tim's once again. See it's on the top. It's be going down.
You can't help but feel like Yandex has no business taking a fight, and they agree. They're just splitting waves. Malady died because he was cutting waves on the other side of the map, putting a sneaky ward, and they've got a similar one on the other side. They are full farm, full rat mode. They have no interest in fighting until they get to at least the BKB on Doom, but they probably want 2 more after that.
Look at this again, Tim. He's just everywhere with Yopatch. This time round, Notice is not going to be able to walk away.
The Tumbler's toy to the other side. This guy is in zone. OG is not a team that you want to fall behind against. We've seen it time and time again. When this team is in a position of strength, of power, they're honestly really good at building leads, at picking you off and not letting you sneak down these side lanes. One of the better teams, I think, of sort of the mid-range teams, maybe even the best of the mid-range teams at closing out the map and actually building that gold lead.
And it just keeps going. Nico gets the jump. I think Yandex, it's... What do you think is going on in the comms right now in Yandex? Is it sort of silence or is it...
I think it might be quiet.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm not sure there's much to say, you know. This is one of those moments where someone has to step up and there has to be some sort of comms. I don't exactly know what needs to be said, but something has to be said to to right the ship, to calm people down, and to find a way or an idea for people to follow. Get people on the same page, and let's at least try something, you know? Let's practice resilience as a team, playing from behind, playing in hard circumstances. This is not going to be the last time that they play a hard game, and so picking yourself up and actually giving it a fair try and not just completely crumbling is very valuable.
Thames. Out at the side, but he gets the chance to get the cogs and the hook shot off. Watson will drop the Doom down, but Nico's in with a call onto the two of them. As Chira Jr. dead, it's going to go for the BKB TP out Watson and will make it away at least, so that this time will survive. Still, of course, not a trade that Yandex will be happy to take.
No, definitely not. Also, the Doom BKB used, and the Doom. Well, now they're on notice again.
Get the spear pushed back onto Nico.
Luckily, the spear last hit one of the creeps. Otherwise, I think he might have died there from the battle hunger slow. But let's slide away. But the gold lead continuing to mount. Look at this Mars' net worth. Below the Chen by almost 1,000 gold. That is not what you want to see in this Wind Ranger. It's just free to do whatever she wants. It feels almost impossible for her to die, even if she didn't still have the Aegis for a minute, which she does. So rough times. He's got a Shadow Blade queued up on Doom. You look at this and you can't help but think, you know, they're playing for the fight first, right? This is not a fight where they're going to right-click them down where they can DPS. They need to get everything to go their way. They need to jump the right heroes. They need to do it at the right time. There's a lot of, it's a very high skill and precise for them to win these fights. It's not straightforward by any means.
Towards the end of the Aegis, maybe have good information here, OG. Watson and Malady on the way back.
Got Gem on DK.
And they'll get the grab on a Malady. Watson should be fine and out of this at least. At the same time, Tibbs has got eyes on Saxa. Saxa on the run.
Under attack.
Should be okay. It's the trees now with TP. Survive.
Yeah, I mean, back to wave cutting it is.
Watson's pushing out pretty far here. He's going to go for the Nico very close to having a read on him.
A close escape. It would be disastrous if he dies, but almost equally disastrous to just continue playing in this state. Maybe Chira even dies here. He does have the blink up. Close to that BKB. They're not bleeding too many more kills on Yandex, which is promising to see, and they've got a nice defensive ward up here they placed recently. So there is a world, you know, we saw it happen in the first game, and at different points in the second game too, where sometimes OG can get a little too over-aggressive, bite up more than they can chew, and go a bit too deep into potential vision and take a bad fight. And I think that's what Yandex is hoping for, right? If it's on OG side of the map, if it's out in the dark, very unlikely they're gonna get a proper jump. But if OG does overextend, they're pressing a smoke now, maybe they push it a bit too far and give Yandex something to grab a hold of.
OG still very much happy to take the fight off the back of whoever they get the jump on at the start. See who they get their eyes on first.
Opposed to taking the occasional bounty.
Straight over towards Malady and Watson. They'll get the grab on a Malady. Should give info for Watson a run. Again, looks like Watson should be able to evade their move.
Almost the same spot he's deeping from. Closing in on a Silver Edge, but you have to look at these item progression and think, what is a Silver Edge gonna do exactly? You know, on the flip side, you've got Axe coming in for Wind Ranger, Bloodthorn on the DK, BKB on Axe. All these items are in the works, and their counterparts. Is Silver Edge gonna change anything? Is it gonna do anything significant in these fights? I have a hard time believing it will. Almost need to get this Doom on the Wind Ranger, but she does have BKB, so she can potentially just BKB and run, reset the Doom. They're wrapping around, though.
Yandex, what can they find? Look for the jump, they get the arena down onto the two of them, but Nico's able to turn quickly with a call on towards Notice. He can't be from Watson, he's going to look to get him with the Doom onto Natsumi. Natsumi trying to keep his distance, but Watson is closing in on towards him. Natsumi, can he play his way out of this? Another call from Nico to control the tomb. Natsumi falling low, but Watson's going to go down first. And Natsumi, can they actually keep him alive? They can't. Notice gets him with the God's Rebuke. They're able to kill off the Whim Ranger, but it's going to cost them so much. Call on to Notice. This is going to be OG finding themselves all 5 kills. Yandex just cost them so much to just kill off the one hero.
Yeah, it's just hard. They have, I mean, the Sand King blinked in, didn't epi before, blinking, gets shackled and just dies 100-0. Doesn't use his BKB or Epicenter in the fight.
We'll see it again here.
He just gets insta-killed by Yopaj and Natsumi. Maybe he got Dragon Tail, not shackled, but either way, just completely pulverized, turned into mincemeat. I wouldn't want minced Scorpion anyway, but...
That tastes good.
I feel like it's kind of tough. They're like little...
Yeah, but nice and crispy. Nice and crunchy.
But not if you mince it.
How minced are you mincing it?
Well, I guess there's like, when you like mince like little pork bits, they can be crispy like in a pan. Maybe Scorpion's good actually.
I've noticed. Last one to survive in that. To get off a decent arena, but the fight just ends up 2 split. And any time now that OG have the full 5 of them around, sure, you know, Yandex might kill one of them, but then the rest of them definitely gonna get the cleanup on the team fights, OG.
Yeah, and they get some more blood in the water. I might have a Scorpion, but OG is a shark. And they're coming for you.
Watson. Gonna be able to find him, Yopaj. In with the stun, they get the call. He did get the BKB off, but it shouldn't matter, as they can just chase him down, get him with the dunk.
And even if Yandex gets a perfect fight, perfect initiation, you look at these heroes, Hype, Vlad's, Glimmer, Solar, it's just the whole fleet of defensive items between Nico and Scam. They've really been itemizing great, I think, this series, and in general, they really prioritize these tanky items on the 5 and offlaner. Scam finds a way, somehow, you know what higher net worth didn't do?
Oh, look at that! Set up bots again, coming over Sims. The arena will come out and return, but Natsumi immediately pots the BKB, focuses down Malady, both supports dead on Yandex, and Chira Jr. having to put the BKB to just try and scramble back towards the fountain. Notice dying underneath the tier 4s, he'll pop the BKB, but it will not save him. As OG, they're ready to close this game and this series up. The pressure coming in now onto the tier 4s. They've got buybacks available on Yandex. We'll see if they give it one more shot. As the buybacks in from Notice. The tier 4s falling rapidly as OG now onto the Ancient. Yandex, have they got anything more? They're going to try, but Natsumi's away. Watson can't even find the Doom opportunity. On towards Natsumi. Watson trying to get in. He'll get the Doom up, but he is dead himself. This game, this series is over. OG to take it today 2-1 against Yandex. And in these 2 wins that they got against them, it didn't really even look close. This game 3 in particular, it almost felt like OG just broke them.
Yeah, that was more even an emotional victory than it was a Dota victory, and they won the series. It just felt like Yandex at some point in this game became lost and almost just like depressed the way they walked there on the map and fed kills. OG looked like the more resilient team, right? To win game 1, then you lose game 2. Honestly, you get smacked around pretty good, but to come back with a better draft in game 3, better play, better moves.
Spear should allow him to walk away. And any time now that OG have the
Season 27's Swiss group stage. Meanwhile, Yandex, Quinn was out here getting philosophical.
Back to Mageler. This is an item that we haven't seen. I feel like
they actually keep him alive. They can't. Notice gets him alive in that fight to get off a decent arena, but dead himself. This game, this series is over. OG to take it today 2-1 against Yandex, and in these 2 wins that they got against them, it didn't really even look close. This game 3 in particular, it almost felt like OG just broke them.
Yeah, that was more even an emotional victory than it was a Dota victory, and they won the series. It just felt like Yandex at some point in this game became lost and almost just like depressed the way they walked around the map and fed kills. OG looked like the more resilient team, right? To win game 1, then you lose game 2. Honestly, you get smacked around pretty good, but to come back with a better draft in game 3, better play, better moves. Noticed had an incredibly rough game this game, 1-8-2. They ganked him about 100 million times. I think he was dead more than he was alive, and I mean, OG looked really strong. They looked like they can contend against the top teams, and Yandex, some inconsistency that is a little worrisome. I'm not sure where it comes from, if it's the draft, if it's the vibes, what exactly is causing this, but they did not look like themselves in this game 3.
No, absolutely, yeah. It's all over the place in this game, whereas OG, I mean, you said, you know, the fact that they also came in on this game 3 as well and were like, yeah, we're doing this win range and carry again for Natsumi because we love it so much. Even though they struggled with it in the game 2, it absolutely was the right decision. They come in with a stronger lineup around it, and even little things like coming in with this Tim's last pick clock, fantastic. We saw him have some excellent hook shots, great pressure across the map from Tim's, setting up a lot of plays there from OG. As OG, fantastic game 3 from them. They'll take the series 2-1 today against Yandex.
Which now has them going 2-0 in DreamLeague Season 27 with group stage. Meanwhile, Yandex, Quinn was out here getting philosophical midway through that game, being like, well, clearly the game is a lost cause at this point, so you just gotta reestablish your mental, not just for this game, but as a team, because you can't let something like this break you apart. And when you get beaten this bad, sometimes you do get broken apart that much.
Oh, that's my cue. Yeah, of course. Yeah. When you get beaten this bad, dude, it really messes with your head.
He nailed it.
Unless you have the latest episode of whatever anime Watson's watching to go blue lock to go look at and enter your egoisto mode. Because I feel like that was the problem. Where was Watson egoisto mode? Why is he playing Doom? Doom is like a, you know, like the boring carries type hero.
Sure.
Like the, you know, Skeeters. I'm really sorry. I don't even, the thing is, okay, I like Falcons and I like all their players. This just has become a thing now in my head. No, but like, you know, I think of Watson, I want to see like Anti-Mage, Terrorblade, you know, like Egoisto. I want to see him play like he is him.
Yeah.
And everybody around him are bots. And he has to do it alone or nobody's going to do it for him. So like, when he goes back and watches this replay, I hope he like plays the saddest anime song like of all time. And just like gets into his head like, I can't be like this anymore.
Like the Guts theme from Berserk.
That's the one.
Yeah. That one. I love that one. I love that one. Especially like the middle part.
No, yeah, it's
very nice instrumental.
Yeah, Johnny from Berserk. That's the guy, right?
Yeah, I love Johnny.
Not the archetype for Watson, though. What's my takeaway for Yandex? Because, like I said, this was a grand finalist not just but 1 week ago on LAN, and here they're kind of getting dismantled by OG.
They look completely lost. I'm also a big fan of this mid Dragonite going back to Mageler. This is an item that we haven't seen. I feel like there's been multiple occasions where I thought that item is going to be picked up. This is like one of the strongest pairing when you can build pipe from the off lane, have Mageler from the mid lane, Sanking, Radiance, Scorched Earth. These type of abilities are not going to be dealing any kind of damage. This has been very popular if you go like back 6 months, maybe a year ago, but it can backfire. In this one, it did look amazing. You have Chen coming up with the heal, coming up with other auras, multiple Glimmer Capes that they did have. Very good itemization coming out from OG in this one, and Team Yandex, they look completely lost on the map.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's difficult when Doom is a little bit of a weird carry hero, and then your mid is a Sand King whose real big strength is initiating with seconds of setup time and AoE damage. And pairing like an AoE damage mid hero who's not that much about jumping with a Doom doesn't feel the greatest. Like if it was like a jump and catch hero to pair on Doom, that sounds good. Like a Storm with Doom sounds fine.
Yep.
Because you Doom a guy, Storm commits, half uncommits, can recommit. Sand King doesn't really do that. It's like once he's in, he's like in for the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
So
I want to win the fight on F.
It didn't really like synergize very well in some ways. Yeah. And they also nerfed Doom as well. They nerfed the Alpha Wolf creep. I think it only gives you a 20% damage aura instead of a 30. They've nerfed his Facet multiple times for how much gold you get back from him, so you can't necessarily do the quick, like, Midas, sell into Radiance, buy Midas back thing. It's just not as quick, so this might just be like grabbing old tech that's been nerfed since then, because it sort of made sense in the draft, and it just didn't perform the way they wanted to.
No, I agree. Oh.
Someone who has been performing, though, consistently is our interviewee, because we've got Adam343, coach of OG. Yo, what's up, Adam? How you doing? Can you hear me? Speak to me! Brother! I miss you! He's not talking to me. I'm on ignore. 343? Please. We'll try to reestablish connection.
No thanks.
No thanks, he said to the interview. He's talking to me. No, in the meanwhile, we will take a look at the Game 3 yet again, because Purge has a comparison he'd like to make.
Yes, I do. I'd love to show the carries for both teams. Just to dive into the data a little bit, you know? Just find out truly what numbers look better. 11, 2, and 7? That's much better than 2, 4, and 4. We can stop the stats right now, practically. Look at that. The GPM was higher on a Wind Ranger than a Doom. Make that make sense.
Dude, Watson's gonna watch this, and he's gonna think to himself, if only I was anti-mage. I'm telling you.
And then the hero damage as well.
Unfair.
Doubled the damage. It's tough. Tough to compete. And just look how clean the game looked. 4K advantage here for OG. They stacked Ancients, instantly took the Tormentor, and what did they do after? They got a free Ancient shard, and then they transitioned to Roche 2 minutes later with an 8K gold advantage. They tried too hard to contest this one on Yandex. I mean, Watson didn't get to do anything by the time he was on stun, and then by the time he was, he still doesn't have BKB, so that wasn't going to work out. They just cleaned up everybody. This was like a crazy 3-minute swing here for OG that kind of like solidified their really, really nice gold advantage. So that was pretty sick.
I mean, it's nice to see OG also, like, because this is like the script of Dota nowadays. You know, you do Tormentor, you do Roche, you go kill the towers, the game is over. Wow, we're so good. And in game 1, we got to see, like, free flow OG, and this game we got to see structure OG. So it's cool to see, like,
both sides of the coin.
Yeah,
they can play it. I'm also just gonna throw it out there. I think the last pick in the whole series had very low impact. We saw Void Spirit in the game 1, which looked pretty terrible going in, not being able to deal any damage. Game 2, we had Undying, which didn't have that much impact. And in game 3, we saw Noticed on Mars, which also had very little impact. And I also feel that, like, Noticed as a player, when he's popping off, when he's playing his Brownies, he's popping off, but when he's having a bad game, the whole team's having a bad game.
Yeah, I agree.
But OG had a very good game, and I'm going to try this again. Hey, Adam. You hear me?
Hello.
Yes! Oh my god, I'm so relieved. How you doing, Adam? It's been a while. Although I did get to see you at TI, but the context seems different because now I get to speak to you as the coach of a team that has been winning a lot. So how's it been?
It's been great. We've been having I want to say, kind of a magical run, right? We got top 6 at the past 2 events. We've been to almost every tournament this circuit, and we just took a win off a grand finalist, so I think everything feels good.
That's what I'm saying. And I know I saw an interview with you earlier during one of those previous lands where you've said that you're already quite content with the state of the team. And I feel like that's rare for such a new roster to already find such good synergy just within like a month and a half.
I think it's just all the players' hard work, right? Everyone's pushing each other to do better every day. I think even on their own, like all of them individually watch replays, they work hard. So I think I think the first few weeks was us trying to find our identity, and now we're kind of getting into it a bit more. And I think we're content with where we are, but at the same time, we know we should be doing better and we can do better. So for now, yes, I think top 6 for a new team is great, but that's not the end goal, you know?
Of course. I like the attitude. I was hoping you could also shed some light on the structure of this team. I was curious, like, who's talking to you the most about the draft? Who's the captain? Who do you consider to be the in-game leader? These are dynamics that we haven't really heard about.
I would say the in-game leader is mainly Scam. I think drafts are Scam and teams mostly who give the biggest input. Obviously, everyone talks about their heroes and matchups a lot more because I'm too noob to understand that, so I just ask them questions. In game, I would say everyone makes calls, but mainly it's like scam and teams who kind of remind us of like the big picture things, which I think are really important. The team also communicates in Tagalog, so sometimes the game's different. I think like when Natsumi is having a really good game, he takes over. Same with Yopaj, you know, everyone has like different roles on the team, and we just listen to whoever is making like strong calls.
I'm a little bit surprised to hear that Tim's is stepping up, because I've always considered Scam, he's been a storied captain through so many different rosters of his, but I haven't really known Tim's to step up that much. How's he been fitting in with Scam as like a duo captain, I guess?
I think because of our playstyle, Scam is more of a farm and take map kind of guy. So like when it comes to big picture and objectives, like Scam has a bigger say. But when it comes to catching, I think it's mainly Yopaj and teams who have the like lead on that. Like Scam's not really a catcher or like heroes he plays naturally. They don't set up, you know, unless he's playing some Bane. He's mainly Chen, you know. He's same network as our offlaner or opponent offlaner every game, you know. So it's just different people doing different roles in the game.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense then. And I guess any expectations for this DreamLeague, because we saw the seeding. I don't know if you got to see how other teams seeded you, but pretty much unanimously you were in the top half of seeding, and Falcons seeded you as number 5 for this tournament.
That's interesting, because I think we screamed them a lot. Like when they played Blast in Singapore, we got to scream them a lot. We also screamed them sometime after that. Like I think we have interesting ideas of Dota. Like we're very different from the teams that play, and I think like this tournament for me, I think the team's in good form now compared to how it was in Blast. I feel like we're back to a bit of PGL form, but we are also trying to incorporate some new stuff, and we're getting there. After all this still group stage, I think none of these games are like super real for anyone right now. So I hope we can keep up the consistency and improve, but no expectations whatsoever.
Fair enough. I've been enjoying seeing all these new ideas. Loved seeing the acts, and looking forward to seeing more of your games later. Adam, always a pleasure to speak to you, and we'll catch you later.
Bye.
See you later. That is what was happening on our main stream, but perhaps you're wondering what was happening elsewhere on Storm, Ember, and Earth. Cheever, what happened?
A lot of things happened, Neil. Yes, I'm still here. And I just want to point out that OG is actually one of only 3 teams so far that have beaten the seeding. But so far, the only teams that did beat the seeding, they've only beat the seed that